Mm.
And we're live. We are indeed live.
We're not live yet.
We are. It says on my screen.
No,
It
not
says,
on this screen.
Well,
Not on
it's
this
lying
screen.
to you. There
Not
you
on
go.
this
You're
one.
just you're on a different time zone. Lots of clocks have changed this week.
Hold
Yours
on.
is like 12 hours behind, 12 minutes behind, 12 seconds
Now
behind.
we're
Okay.
live.
Jesus
Now we're
Christ,
live.
that's a delay. Yeah. We are indeed live. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, chat. Welcome, especially to all of those of you in the brave new world of daylight saving time over in the United States of America. Some American person actually set daylight saving as the start time for this stream, but I pulled rank because the British invented time, so we've started back where we're normally supposed to.
Wow. Yeah,
you can
so
all adjust to us.
Exactly. If we're late, which we are, you can blame it on Platoon and living in a different realm. But
we have a panel, we have the usual, we have topics, I'm told, and there's loads of them. I guess we should probably get cracking, right?
All right. Yeah, let's pull it up. The topic of the hour here is a certified fresh Daredevil Born Again. You and I had the pleasure of talking about this on Open Bar earlier this week, and you probably again and again and again.
Yes.
So,
and again.
Right. So let's talk about it again. Let's go around with the panel here and get thoughts on this. The first two episodes. I don't understand how some people were privy to watching the whole thing yet. Did they get like screeners or something?
Yeah, I think Chris Gore got a screener from the company, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, he watched all of it.
Yeah. Well, for the people on this panel, I think we've all just seen the first two episodes. So let's stick to that, I guess, and then we can do some speculation for sure. But Gooch, did you get a chance to check this out?
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
I wish I didn't.
No. Well, let's hear your thoughts on the first two episodes.
Well, the first episode should be incredible. It should be pulling you in and excited for the series. It did not do that. It was really flat. They are kind of doing a continuation of the third season, but they aren't. I don't know what exactly they're doing. They got rid of all the characters that like Foggy and Karen. They're getting rid of them, and the breakup with Daredevil and Karen was pathetic. And your main villain, your antagonist, is Kingpin. How are we supposed to like be threatened by Kingpin when we've already witnessed him being beaten by two females? And now a cuck. He's like we're supposed to empathize with him, like he's going through marriage counseling. Like what are we doing here? This is not what I want to watch. And we're not even seeing. We saw Daredevil, and the choreography was it was there. So yeah, I didn't care for this. It was like a really bad intro. Really bad intro.
A hot take. I don't know if that is a hot take actually, because I've heard such varying opinions on this. That it's great, that it's bad, that it's in between. Mega Geek, what did you think of this show?
I was very disappointed. It's obvious that the people that made this are very mean-spirited. They did a Star Wars and Us. They separated the three. That makes Daredevil. Do you remember the last series that Netflix did? At the ending, right? Remember, Foggy worked for this big lawyer firm, and Karen had went off somewhere. And at the ending, they're in the bar, and they decide to form the company again and help people in Hell's Kitchen that deserve to be helped. I get the feeling that straight after that, that's where they pick up when they come out of that bar. Maybe I'm wrong about that, because this picks up when they come out the bar, right? And they're talking and they're walking down the road. And these mean-spirited people, whoever's in charge of Daredevil, decides to destroy that, completely destroy it, by killing Foggy, if he's dead, that is. Who knows? That fight was stupid, as
spoilers, people. Sorry.
my colleague up there said. It was really daft. Things that really bothered me, like why did he take his mask off when he was on the roof? Because, right? Why?
What is he looking at? He's blind.
I know. It's like,
why did you take the mask off?
Why did he take the mask off? And why did he throw Poindexter off the roof? He's a Catholic. He would never do that. If you read the Born Again magazine, it really does indeed explain who Matt Murdock really is. Right? He would never do that. They do it because they want to advance the story and they want to create this born again thing. That's what they want to do. It's just the first episode just really pissed me off. And what's that big what is it? Big music video at the end where he's walking around and there's fog behind him, and and there's this music playing, and then up at the top of the roof you see what is it? Kingpin looking down after he's been cut by his wife.
3 minutes, montage of them just pondering and looking off into the distance. Yeah, like that was great.
So I really, there's lots of things wrong with this. Totally, it just pissed me off, the whole thing. It really did. And look, another thing that really bothered me as well. BB, right? She's meant to be the niece of can't remember his name. The reporter that got killed in the first season. Anyway,
Ben Reilly.
No, it's God, it's gone out of my head.
I forgot.
Urich.
Oh, Ben
right?
Urich. Yeah. Not Ben
Okay.
Reilly. He's fucking
right. So they show the blog, BB's blog. Why is it in 4:3? So if you're shooting something, if you're shooting on your phone, it would be either vertical or 16:9. Why have you got a clapper through those? It's ridiculous. You know what I mean? It's like you wouldn't do that, And anyway, I shall stop there before I get really angry and start punching the screen. So I'll let somebody else carry on because I just didn't like this at all.
All right, so you didn't like it?
No.
Reaper, what did you think of this?
Pretty much the same. It's like every character's been replaced by a diverse female who's just irritating. Ben, whatever his name is, Urine. He's got his niece now who's better than him in every way. You've then got Foggy's been replaced by a black woman who's better than him in every way. He's going out with a psychiatrist who's probably fucking a man in disguise or something. I mean, probably make her more diverse than Karen. But it's just, it rushes through incredibly important events like Kingpin being mayor.
Yeah.
That's like in less than one episode. Yet we have him couple counseling. That's going to be multiple episodes.
Mm.
And it rushes through very important things, and just like Matt Murdock's on a date for 30 minutes. And like, all right, fucking move on already.
Yeah,
it's really, and as I said before, the fight scenes, it does what every Marvel TV show does, where it's just tons of fog, tons of smoke, really bad CGI. I mean, that CGI is horrendous.
Yeah, it's so odd that they use smoke and darkness as if that's going to cover up the bad CGI, but it somehow makes it more glaring. It's so painful.
Yeah.
Like he's flying around like Batman, and it's just he looks like he's made out of sponge.
Yeah, it looks like Gumby.
And it's really amateurish. Like he goes, like when Foggy's getting a call, and he goes, a guy's trying to break into my house. He's downstairs. He goes, oh, there's no one breaking into your house. Like he's not taking it seriously.
Yeah.
And then he flies round the corner, somehow gets his costume, then has to fly back to the bar.
Yeah.
And it's like the time doesn't make any sense. And it's just really stupid and amateurish, and really the stuff they want to do is kind of ham-fisted into it. It doesn't organically build up.
Yeah.
Right.
What about the bit where Kingpin goes, "It's a gribble to meet you again," and then he says, "I know, are you, going to become Daredevil again?" So he knows he's Daredevil, right? In the Born Again magazine, he used that to his advantage and destroyed Matt Murdock. He literally destroyed his career, all his friends, literally.
In the comic book, are they playing that theme where both people are trying to become something different and try to be better?
No.
Okay,
which one are you
that would
talking
make
about?
sense then.
No, it doesn't make any sense because, right, in the second one, or is it the first one, he blackmails the cop. So if he, Daredevil is his nemesis. So why wouldn't he say to Daredevil, "You step out of line, I know who you are. Right, I can just make, I know
it's
you, I can prove who you are." Do you know what I mean?
And that's just me defending this. I like that scene a lot. I thought it was pretty good. It was very reminiscent of Heat, when De Niro and Pacino's character met up. I thought that was a pretty good scene. But I actually, to jump ahead here to the part where you were talking about where he blackmails the cop, I actually found, I thought that was good. I was like, oh, this is him slowly becoming who he always is meant to be, but he's just slowly getting there, because instead of like threatening to kill the family or anything, or threatening to kill him, what he ends up doing is trying to just blackmail him, which is a pretty political, it's a politician thing to do. So I was like, oh, okay,
That never
that's pretty fair.
happens. There's no
Yeah, that never happens
list
in
or an
politics. Yeah.
island or children involved.
What book are you talking about there, Mega Geek? Are you talking about the Frank Miller Born Again, or are you talking about the Zdarsky one?
Frank Miller Born Again.
Yeah, because this is supposed to be based on the Zdarsky run.
All right,
So
well, I didn't know that. No.
Yeah, it's supposed to be based on that, and I mean, anything past 2015 is just, you know, Marvel and DC just doing their thing, agenda wise. But yeah, they're trying to blend too much into this, and you kind of get lost. You don't care about any the secondary characters. Like, besides BB, name another character besides Daredevil and Kingpin.
BB slept with everyone, right? To get to the interview.
I would think so. I don't know.
If we're going for realism here, probably.
Yeah. I just didn't care. I didn't even care
Nor
about.
did I.
Charlie Cox was great, but I just didn't care about Daredevil, and that should have been the focal point. And then Vincent D'Onofrio playing Kingpin in the first series, he was intimidating. He was brutal. Yeah. He was an awesome antagonist. In this, I'm like, what am I getting this lip dick for? Like, it's sad to look at. Like, I don't even care. Like,
how would you be after you got mind raped by Pocahontas?
Yeah, that's what I mean. How could you be intimidated by someone that's been beaten by Pocahontas and by Hawkeye, whatever you want to, Kate Bishop? Yeah, like
it's terrible.
Even though we've both discussed that, we probably should just quickly go over what our opinions are, Platoon, to set the stage, to set the table here. I thought it was okay, and I was I'm being cautiously optimistic about it, even though I've heard from people who have seen the entire show, good and bad. I can completely understand where all of you guys are coming from. There are a lot of concerning things. You've already mentioned them, but I thought the first 15 minutes was really gripping, and I'm willing. Like, you don't need to withhold from killing off a main character. I don't think. I think the problem is, are you going to follow through, and is that going to have an immense payoff? Because it has to, because he's such a huge character. If it's the concerning parts where it looks like they're just reshuffling the deck and pulling in new, whatever, more diverse characters. Whether they're diverse or not, I don't give a fuck necessarily. It's the fact that they're replacing these characters, and why. Is it going to be worth it? Are you going to give these characters proper characterization, an actual arc, perhaps? Is that asking too much from Marvel? Maybe. But we're 2 episodes deep, and I'm willing to keep rolling with it, but you guys raised the concerns. There's a lot of alarming things happening.
There's a lot of concerns.
May I say something about the choreography? Because it looked very light. It looked like a Korean stage play, the way they did the fight scene. There was no weight to it. Like, and I'm being honest, I just didn't buy into it. Like, it was so dramatic. It was so over the top. It was just like, I thought I was at Cirque du Soleil or something, because it was like, this isn't a fight scene. This is like more of like a dance. And it was just like, I didn't care to watch it. It just looked ridiculous to me. Like, it wasn't like, when you're watching actual fight scenes, there has to be some weight, some like, you have to feel the punches, and like, it looked way off for me. And quick shout out to the chat. You guys are awesome. Thanks for joining us. I appreciate all you guys. So.
And also, the last episode, why did Matt Murdock open the door for those bad policemen and stand? Why didn't he escape through the fire escape with the other guy? Why?
Because he thought he was going to talk them out of it, or talk to them.
Or it's kind of the combination of that, and like, obviously he can't be seen to be moving nimbly down fire escapes and things, because that's not his. He's playing his blind lawyer pose at the moment. And there's also the degree like he kind of wants to be beaten up, and he wants the little bit of violence, which they were kind of going for that, and they really didn't stress it anywhere near enough to make it land. But they tried to sell it as though when he from the moment he throws the guy off the roof, the reason he can't be Daredevil anymore is that he doesn't trust himself to withhold from these acts of violence, and yet sometimes will put himself in the position where acts of violence are invited. I don't think the show does anything like enough to make that make as much sense as it should, but that is what they're aiming to do.
Yeah.
Well, it's bad. It's bad because like he waited till the guy escaped the fire escape, and within those minutes he was waiting for them, he could have made sure the guy had gone, and then he could have went and fire escape and fired his shooty thing and fly upwards and get out of there. Instead, he waited for these guys, knock on the door, opens the door for them. So you're saying he wants to talk them out of it? That's crap because the guys, he knows the guys that kill people and they're bad. Do you know? So
yeah, but I think he was hoping
like,
that they wouldn't go that far. And that's not even the biggest problem with that. I think the biggest problem is so in episode 1, when he meets up with Kingpin, they discuss how he gave up being Daredevil because he attempted to kill Bullseye, which was fucking crazy. He just tosses this guy off the roof, and there's a problem with that. Why is this guy alive? Why is he alive?
Oh, because in the last season he had they did that
spinal surgery, so now he's a mutant.
He's kind of like a super soldier.
But okay, well, anyway, when the two cops bust in, he kills another person. There's a very, very obvious crunch to that guy's neck when he throws him down.
He kills them both.
Nah, they're unconscious. Don't wake up ever again.
But to counter your point, Platoon, we saw that in the first 3 seasons with Matt Murdock going to the priest, having that inner debate with himself about, do I actually want to do this? Do I want to pursue this? Because it is a dirty, there's that potential. So why are you doing that again in the new season? There's no point. We've already established that he is going to go through that. And so now they're reestablishing it, like the internal, debate in his head about, do I need to be Daredevil? Do I not be Daredevil?
Yeah. Oh, no. And to be clear, I'm not at all a fan of the way this has started. I'm just trying to explain what I think was going through their heads. And in terms of motivating the characters staying there rather than running away, that is, I think, what they were intending. But I completely agree it's flawed for the reasons that you just laid out. But the more of those you list, the worse it gets. Because I think I mentioned this on Open Bar. I had never seen any of the Netflix Daredevil until this was about to release. So I went and watched all of it. In the expectation that I'd have to, because it would improve my watching experience if I was familiar with what we were building up from. The opposite is the case. The more you watch of the original and the more you remember, the worse this season is, because so many of the decisions either flatly contradict or simply cannot accord with the story that was quite clearly established through seasons 1 through 3. Even little things, like seemingly little things, and I say seemingly little, but actually it's massive. The idea that Matt Murdock has sworn off being Daredevil out of a promise that he never actually made to Foggy. That wasn't in any of seasons 1 through 3, but apparently they've decided that's what he's doing. Having sworn off being Daredevil, he's going to go and meet Kingpin, who is somehow running for mayor despite all the things he's done, and despite knowing who Matt Murdock is and knowing who Daredevil is and having the law on his side now. And Matt Murdock is sitting there quite calmly saying, yeah, please don't be evil again. And Kingpin's like, well, I won't be evil if you don't be a superhero. And
Trust me, I've gone through my healing.
This dialogue. Why are either of you saying these things? This is insane. But they have to do it because this is the first meeting and they think it's really stylish. Look, the hero and the villain, they're standing against you or sitting opposite each other in a coffee shop having a nice conversation. They wouldn't be doing that. None of these decisions make any sense at all. Who are these people? Why is Kingpin in fucking marriage counseling? How much more pathetic can you make him?
Because they want a Sopranos. I believe they want a Sopranos and the Penguin. I bet you they probably saw some of the Penguin before it was released, and they're like, we need to capture that because that's what people want, and this is what we're getting. This is like, oh, so bad. I'm not invested in this at all.
It also does a terrible job of establishing everything. Like it says vigilantes are such a huge problem, yet we don't really see any of them. Yeah. And Daredevil hasn't been a vigilante for a year. So in fact, you'd think the vigilante problem would have actually kind of subsided. Like the whole point of the BB News thing should be like building up a bit of background information. Like she should be talking about the White Tiger and other vigilantes that are such a problem.
Yep.
But not instead, she just asks random dickheads on the street, what do you think? And they give it their fucking stupid opinion. That doesn't mean anything.
It's the writers. The writers are not using logic when they're writing. As Platoon says, why have that meeting? Yeah, it's cool and all that stuff. Where it's like Heat, but none of it makes any sense. Do you know,
What?
he comes out and he shakes his hand. He says, "Oh, you know, do you have time to talk?" And he's like, he goes off to talk to it. It's ridiculous. The whole thing is ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense. You know what? Season 1 of the Netflix Daredevil was good, but it did have its problems. It wasn't perfect. They had episodes where they stretched it out, didn't they? And it felt too long and too boring. There were a lot of mistakes with that show, but it still was solid. It was after you finished seeing that season, you wanted to see more. With this, after the second episode, I thought this is just trash. It really is. The whole thing.
Did you
is
like
trash.
how Vanessa took over the business?
Exactly.
And she explicitly says, "Oh, it's even more profitable under me."
Yes.
I'm like, oh, fuck off.
The gender is still playing in this. Totally playing.
And actually, season 3 is the important part for their relationship. Because they're not antagonistic towards each other. Like season 3 is the moment when she really gets on board with his, like he brings her into his crime empire. Basically, she becomes his second in command. Then the deal is struck with Daredevil at the end. Like, I will stay in prison, says Kingpin, as long as you leave her alone. It's like fine. Yes. And then because like if you go and try and watch Hawkeye or Echo to try and figure out when, where, and how he got out of prison. Fuck knows, he just is. And then
I forgot about that.
And then Matt Murdock doesn't apparently think that's a problem. He doesn't see that the promise has been broken because that happened in a different show and we don't know if anybody watched it, so we can't reference it. But no, he's just out and he's mayor. And now so it meets up with her again, and she's slightly salty that he's back because like she was doing quite well enough on her own, and oh, you know, I don't really know what to feel about him being back in the scene, and he just sits there staring glumly like he's got nothing to fucking say.
She's cuckolding him. Kingpin is being cuckolded. Like, I don't care if you're the fucking biggest guy on the planet, you got an army, I'd still laugh at you because your wife is having sex with other men.
Yeah.
I cannot take you seriously. If Doctor Doom in the new Avengers film comes out and goes, by the way, my wife has an open relationship, I just laugh at him.
Well, she wears the pants.
He would have launched her off that roof if he was the other Kingpin, wouldn't he? After that's what he would have done.
Completely undermines it if she's just going to blow some other guy's dick.
And it's a really bad idea. Like, if this is supposed to be your Kingpin, your main villain, they did the same thing with Kang in the mainline MCU movies. The more times you make him seem pathetic, and the more times he loses to pathetic people in really stupid ways, the less seriously I'm going to take him, and the less threatening he's going to be. The interesting thing about the Netflix run of the show is that obviously he's very, very important and to the foreground in season 1. He's actually in the background for most of season 2, and yet still that presence is kind of always there and always felt. And then in season 3, they do that slightly interesting mix of him being present in body, but also present in the mindscape of several characters I wasn't a huge fan of. But he's still kind of ever present and menacing and brooding. And all he has to do is stand there, and you think, shit, I have to take this guy seriously because clearly they watched Hannibal for some of their style choices, and he's a good villain too. I take him seriously though whenever he's on the screen at tremendous gravitas, and then you stick him like level next to the fucking woman who's nicked his business from him, talking about how she doesn't really want him back in her life, maybe because he's a bit useless. And it's just and having then remembered that, okay, you got shot in the head by Echo, and then you let her escape, and then you got mind raped by her as well. And that took all the evil out of your soul, but now you're back and you're still kind of evil, maybe, but we don't know what it is. The only reference to any of this is when Vanessa says, you left the that bed that I left you in for 6 months, that I was by your bed the entire time. And then you left to go and do what? And he's like, watch the other show. And that's it.
You lost weight. Yeah, I had to build muscle.
Also, it doesn't make any sense, right? She tells him she's having an affair. And then she says, please promise not to kill him. So why are they a marriage couple? Why are they in the marriage thing?
I'm not the same man anymore. I applaud your feminism.
Yeah, so why are they there? If Kingpin knows that she's not in love with him and she's in love with this other guy.
Jack Murphy. He probably goes, I hope Adam fills up my wife and I come home and it's dinner time.
That's what I'm saying. It makes no sense, does it? Them going to marriage couples.
In the corner as Iron Man, and she's just getting plowed in the same bed, and he's filming her.
Oh
Makes
my
no
God.
sense. Makes no sense.
I know.
The script writing is terrible in this. When you dig deeper, you realize that none of it, most of it, doesn't make it. What about
Does
Karen?
anyone-
She turns up
But the
with
directing, I wouldn't just say the writing; it's the directing. As a
Yeah.
director, I would be embarrassed about
but
that. With
Karen
this.
turns up with his ear or his horn.
Yeah,
he's
he's like,
holding it for 2 years. What
yeah,
the
he's
fuck?
Yeah,
Do you know what
just
I mean? It's
flinging it
like
around his
what?
hand.
Ah,
What is does anyone think the reshoots actually hurt the show? Because
looks
those
like it did.
I think it's the only you can tell which parts in the first 2 episodes I
Yeah.
feel are the reshoots. I think they are the only exciting things about the show so far. I
Yeah.
think the episodes 1 and 2 are bookended by the reshoots. I think the first 15 minutes was a reshoot, and so what like any of the violence and stuff, I believe, is the second time around.
Is that why some
Um,
of the violence has got some really dodgy CGI in it because they
I
didn't have time
think
to finish it?
that-
It's kind of obligatory,
I
isn't
put
it?
my
You
bet
have
on
to
it.
do a panicky reshoot and don't leave yourself enough time to finish it, and then that's how
Yeah.
you roll with Marvel these days.
Yeah.
Because it's like 2 jigsaw pieces that don't quite fit, and they're trying to
Yeah.
smash them together. And you can, as you said, you can really tell which is which. And the problem is the connection to the original show is actually being hurt. Like Foggy being killed, probably not, because they don't really do anything with his death. Which I think
Mm.
they've went, oh, he's going to come back, so we won't go into a big thing about his death. Which kind of just tells you that he's going to come back. But
I
as
think-
said, sorry.
No, I was just going to say this series. It feels like everyone's waiting for Frank Castle to save the series, like John Bernthal. I think that's what everyone's like kind of waiting on.
Oh,
'Cause
I
it-
wouldn't
it-
count on that. John
I'm
Bernthal
not
probably
either.
fucking Kingpin's wife in a weird cuckold relationship.
No,
thing.
but everyone knows he's going to be in like at least an episode, maybe 2, maybe
Yeah.
even more.
But what will they do with him?
That's
the
the problem.
thing.
Well, you've seen the cops with the tattoo on the forearm.
Yeah.
You're seeing. You've heard the speech that he gives the cops already. We're not killing. I don't. The peeling off the sticker. It's just like it's contradictory to the actual character. So if people are waiting for another character to come in to save a series, then that's your first problem right there.
Is it that the Punisher is inspiring vigilantes himself, but they're going after vigilantes, which doesn't really make any sense? Is that what they're kind of going for?
Kind of. So that whole subplot is slightly confused. And it gets the show has a very confused internal politics, and it doesn't really know what the place of vigilantes is. It's already a bit insane to suggest that masked vigilantes will be unpopular in New York after the events of Avengers, and the fact that masked vigilantes basically saved the universe from Thanos. That's a bit weird.
Yeah.
Then to have Kingpin be the one to say, no, it's not enough just to put them on a register, because that's what you do with nonces. We need to do something more than put them on a register. We need to really get rid of them. And then to have all of his fans say, yeah, the thing I really like about Kingpin is that he basically is like a vigilante who does everything on his own. So how do you not like the vigilantes? And then the cops come along and they say, well, we don't like you, Kingpin, and if you don't have our support, then you can't be mayor. But the premise was that he never had their support because he got so many of their people killed, so he shouldn't be mayor to begin with. And then the vigilante question doesn't really come up. They've sort of teased the mention of a couple of others besides Daredevil. We haven't really seen much of them. And they are just kind of kicking around doing nothing. They've just been mentioned. There's the white whatever the fuck and the Spider-Man, who is a Spider-Man, I guess. White Tiger, that's the one. I guess we'll see them at some point, but I would like the show to have an idea of what vigilantes represent in this universe. It should be incredibly important. Daredevil season 2 had entire scenes dedicated to this question.
Yeah.
Is it too much to ask that we have a tenth of that writing quality back so we understand what everybody thinks and where and why?
Have you noticed that the good things are being taken out and the bad things are being still kept? Like replacing Foggy with a diverse person. All those things that we hate about TV shows and movies, it's present in these 2 episodes.
Yeah,
Yet the good things, like having the 3 together, is gone. They're still on this ride of diversity crap. And I can see it now. I can't unsee it in the first 2 episodes.
I feel like even if they were replaced with people of the same race, it would still be like a what the fuck. I understand why they're doing it, because they want to establish their own identity, but they're simultaneously chained to season 1 through 3 and trying to create something new all at once. So it's the first 2 episodes are any indication, it's I don't know. I heard it's going to go downhill from here.
Oh no! How does
I
it go down?
wouldn't
It's already
doubt.
at the bottom of a fucking valley.
Yeah,
It doesn't
I
make
wouldn't. I wouldn't doubt if BB gets her own series after this.
Yeah,
I would
yeah,
not
no.
surprise-
Oh my
it would not
God.
surprise me.
No one would watch that
You-
shit.
Yeah, well,
It'll be together with Moneypenny series, wouldn't it? Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Oh, God.
But it's like you've got an extra difficult task when you're introducing these new characters to take the place of the old ones. Is that because you have to do that, you have to give them a certain amount of space just to be introduced. But then that necessarily takes the weight off the really consequential stuff like Foggy's death. The fact that you skip forward an entire year and you don't deal with any of the consequences, and you basically pick up with everybody kind of getting on with their lives. And oh yeah, Matt's just flirting with just another random lawyer. Who the fuck is she?
Yeah.
I don't know who she is, but she's
And
a character. Now
better.
there's some police guys who I guess are important. One of them might be a character, I suppose. But you've just discarded a 3-season-long build-up for someone whose name I don't remember, who doesn't have very much time to establish themselves in his place. And by doing so, you've taken all the weight off the death scene, which should have been the most monumental, shattering thing, but it just wasn't.
you know what this reminds me of? Platoon, Arcane season 2.
Oh no! Oh, it does. Though. You're right. It's the fucking the weird the guy whose name I still don't know. The sidekick characters.
Yeah, it's
Maddie
exactly
and
the same
the other
thing.
one.
It's the same thing, an influx of new characters when you got this incredible first 3 seasons, and now you're doing the exact 180 of what you have established. And
There you go.
If it's
That's
Arcade 2,
right.
the writer will come out at some point near the end of the season and say, "Oh, we just weren't that interested in Foggy anymore. You know, we thought we were just done with him. So just bang, he's dead. Fuck off. Goodbye. We've got more interesting people to do."
Well, didn't he say? The director for this? He said, "Oh, the conversation between Daredevil and Punisher discussing their ideological differences and like whether or not killing is good or not. That was the boring part. We don't want. Yeah, we have counseling. We have them getting cooked. We have fucking pointless, stupid fucking mail runs that don't make any sense. We said for it skips everything. It forces these like who the fuck is Jerry? Like when Matt takes his mask off and the guy goes, Matt, I'm like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
Then we said for these characters are just forced on you. She completely replaced the other characters. Cherry takes Karen's place, and she takes Foggy's place, and BB takes all Urine.
Yeah.
He takes his place. Like you can just see them; they've just been replaced.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You've got all that shit in it, but you haven't got the good stuff. The good stuff is from the stuff of Netflix series. You haven't got the good stuff. Again, right? Seriously, I'm not making this up. I can still see that the agenda. I just hate it when I watch a TV show that I'm looking forward to, and all this stuff's in there, and it's definitely present in this. Nobody can tell me it isn't. Sorry.
You got this character who's supposed to be the kingpin, who's like the head of the family, right? And then you add in Gandolfini's, that's his, or Garofalo, whatever, no, Gandolfini's kid, the kid that does the social media stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
and he's
Tony Soprano's kid.
Yeah, and
I
he's
thought he was weird.
He's a complete wild card, and he just looks at him like, "Who is this guy? Good job." He would have been out of there like lickety split. Like, because you're trying to establish this kind of mafia style head of the family kind of vibe with Kingpin, and yet you're having these characters that come in and doing whatever they please pretty much, and there's no consequences for them. There's like, it's like, okay,
but it's an odd little side plot because I think the idea that they're going for there is that Kingpin actually sees something in him in a way that others don't, because he sees the enthusiasm, he sees the willingness to work. He sees the insight that comes from knocking on people's doors, and so he wants. My guess is that he becomes a kind of weird protege who eventually somehow betrays Kingpin because he's good, and Kingpin goes bad again. Would be my guess as to how the story plays out at some point. But I don't. Unlike season 1, where you have a very clear idea of like who at least the main players are and what the basic stakes are after the first 2 episodes of season 1, I don't really have a clear idea who's doing what, where, and why in this at all. It's not even that clear if Kingpin is still a villain, even. And I know that he will inevitably be one because they haven't got enough imagination to create somebody else. But if you do pay attention to the other shows, you remember that Echo tried to, and did succeed in getting rid of all his trauma and all the rest of the stuff, all the shit that should make a profound difference to his character. you sit there thinking, well, like, are you bad, or are you just like just mildly bad? And
It's not Kingpin. It's Amanda that's going to be the villain. The wife.
yeah,
No, she'll take
Yeah.
over. Like she'll
Yeah.
stab Kingpin to death, and he'll go, "It's okay. I was already dead. He killed me long ago."
Yeah. Yeah.
killed
I'm
by
still trying to
another
heal.
woman. This is the third woman to kill
Yeah.
me.
Yep.
Well,
Yep.
maybe he goes gay afterwards. There's having a bad rapport with women.
Oh dear.
But there's already a season 2 being announced. So
Yeah.
which is,
Yeah.
They're
It
already
was
filming.
always going to be there, wasn't it? It was going to be like a two season deal. It's, they do it with everything these days. They and like announce it separately, but they've baked in two from the off. It just makes it sound like it's been really well received. Whereas I think this has been reasonably well received. It's just not by anybody I've spoken to in our circle. But audiences generally don't seem to mind it yet, I guess.
But that annoys me more because it has the time it needs to tell the story. It has a time to do all the stuff, to explore Foggy's death, to have the mayor run with the Kingpin, trying to infiltrate the city's powerful elite again. You could do all of that with 2 fucking seasons, and yet we're already here with no story to tell. You've got fucking... He's in therapy with Matt's girlfriends because that's not forced or anything or contrived.
Well, they skipped the
Why
interesting story.
therapy?
The interesting story, the first season's worth of story, is how does Kingpin become the mayor? How does a guy with that history manipulate his way through New York politics to redeem himself in the eyes of the electorate and become mayor? What deals does he cut? Who does he side with? Who does he bribe? That's an interesting story, but we skipped all of that. Then you've got the build up to Foggy's death, which could be like the season capping finale, this incredibly dramatic and tragic thing. Having first explored how he's getting to this point and having baited who was responsible for killing him. All of that as a season 1 story really interests me, but it's in the 1 year off screen time between the opening 15 minutes and the rest of the show. And we have, as you say, replaced it with fucking therapy, and I'm bored of that shit.
Yeah.
Oh, we're getting a lot of that. Vanessa pegs me too hard.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's no that doesn't make any sense either. The marriage is finished if she's having an affair. Why are they going for marriage counseling?
Well, it's an open relationship. This is what always happens. They like to test the waters, see if she can do any better, and then she'll come back to him. But then she'll kill him. Though she's going to kill him at the end of the season, or maybe season 2.
This show sucks, man.
It's a new world, Mega. The women can have affairs now, and we still will be there for them. That's what we're supposed to be.
Oh, dear.
2 hours. There's not that much story as well.
No, there isn't. Well, she's then.
Vincent D'Onofrio responded to
Oh,
it,
yeah,
and
yeah.
this was funny. I mean, the screen name is Dumbass, but I just thought it was worth pulling up.
Well, they tried to blow her up, didn't he? They tried to make it like a big story, like he's been an asshole.
But he was just referring to her by name.
Yeah, I think that's quite funny. If you are going to respond to fan criticism, that's probably the way to do it.
Yeah,
Do you think he knows the script is bad? Do you think Charlie Cox knows this?
No, they seem very adamant about this show.
Well, is it just that they're grateful? Are they just grateful to have Daredevil back?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's
You're like an ex that broke up with you, and he goes, "I can't do any better. Please take me back."
I mean, undoubtedly, these two are the best part of the show, and I think that's what they're really riding off of, is that they have 2 fantastic actors playing characters that are beloved from 3 seasons of a show that was really well liked, and they're just trying to ride off that. And I had a question. So I'm pretty sure I know season 2 was announced. The back end of episode or season 1 is next year. That doesn't count as season 2, I wouldn't imagine, does it? Because this was 18 episodes and it's split in half, so like 9 episode mid-season finale, and then I believe, and then
9
the next
episodes, and season 2 has 8, and it's being filmed in February to July this year. So right now.
Oh, okay.
So just to clarify, so it's we are getting all of season 1 in 9 episodes, and then season 2 is the next 8 episodes that come next year. Is that right?
Yeah, early to mid 2026.
Okay. Gotcha.
Let's see if it'll last.
And there's rumors that Spider-Man is supposed to be in the final episodes. And
oh, really?
What?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Tom Holland is Spider-Man. That's the rumor. Take it for what it is, but
is Vanessa going to have a massive orgy?
they
Because
keep
all the
well.
heroes
They're
come
trying to
in.
go, and the Defenders are supposed to be in season 2. So is Echo apparently?
Well,
But those are all rumors. So.
Isn't
Defenders is the one I still haven't watched because I just hear nothing but bad things about
Jessica-
Defenders.
Defenders is not very good.
I kind of like the
Yeah.
Defenders because it was very comic bookish. But isn't Jessica Jones meant to be in this season?
That's
She makes a guest star appearance. Yeah,
Yeah.
apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that all it's going to be? Just cameos?
probably.
Yeah, because they
That's what they're good at.
Yeah, that's
It's the skill
There's
set they
Iron
have.
Fist that no one watched.
No, somewhere out there, Tatiana Maslany's still waiting for the call from Kevin Feige. I'll do the walk of shame this time. Anything, get me back into Marvel. I guess
needs a paycheck.
maybe the one advantage of them doing like 2 quite short seasons as opposed to 1 really long season and giving themselves the time to write season 2 after season 1 has already started is that theoretically, if they do really shit the bed with season 1, they are able to reverse course for season 2, theoretically. Whether they would do that is... I was going to say another question. I'm going to up that. It's very unlikely they would do that, but at least they can do it if this goes massively wrong.
They're already filming now.
Yeah,
So
they like
the
from
action only came out like a few days ago. Like
Yeah,
they're
like-
mid filming.
Oh.
from what I've read is like D'Onofrio and Charlie Cox are like really excited with the writing team and they think they're doing a great job.
Actors
Like
never
they're-
know what's good.
No.
It's very rare that they know what's good. Actors,
They
So-
don't.
they don't at all. Oh, God.
Well, you could ride off cope and go, maybe it gets better if I'm drunk, maybe when I'm watching it.
Do
Possibly.
you remember the first time you saw the Kingpin and what he did in the Netflix version? That was horrible, and that established him right away that you wouldn't screw with
Yeah.
that guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And with this, I don't know.
Now he's
who
about
I'm
as serious as Team Rocket.
Yeah. He needs Viagra. He needs something because he's just so limp and just pathetic. I'm just like,
Yeah.
ugh.
Well, it can't be-
They reference the head smashing thing in a way that it kind of annoys me. The way against the show's underbaked internal politics, because I think you can tell that they want Kingpin to be a kind of Trump stand-in, but they also don't want to do it so overtly that they piss lots of people off. But it's definitely there.
Yes.
And the main reason you can tell, besides the fact that obviously, oh my goodness, it's a crook who's now suddenly become president or mayor, is those Vox Pop interviews. So you get the people who are against Kingpin, who are invariably quite articulate, usually diverse, usually women, usually given the space to articulate a point of view which is halfway sensible. The man is corrupt, the man is a villain, nobody should support him. Then you cut to the Vox Pop of his one supporter, apparently, who's just this slack-jawed, red-necked retard who just says, oh, I heard he smashed a guy's head in. I'd kind of like to see that. Like, fucking...
Yeah.
No, that's such a cop-out. Again, such an interesting story to tell about how he wins support from more than half of the electorate. They can't all be like that. Like, what are the arguments for him taking over? There must be some. Don't give me the whole fucking redneck excuse of just this guy saying, oh, he's violent, it's cool. Go fuck yourself. Be more creative.
Could somebody tell me if we took out the bit where he stops in his car and talks about the hole in the road, would that make any difference to the story whatsoever? I'm wondering why it's in there.
Well,
Or
it's
did
so
I miss
stupid
something?
because there's a bunch of red tape, and he goes, "No more red tape," and you go, "No, that's not how it works. They have to go to the office. They have to talk to the lawyers."
Well, this is where they're
build.
trying to do the Trump analogy here. Like they're trying to make it fist kind of like similar to Trump, where 50% of New York hate him and 50% love him and would jump off a bridge from him. And him getting out of the car is like something like Trump would do. Get out of the car, look at the ball, and like, hey, get over here, fix it. You know. So
But he did when he was inaugurated. Trump did get out of the car and walked past his own hotel, so all the cameras caught the front signage.
Exactly.
So stage management there.
They're doing that, and it's just like, and everyone's like, "Oh, this is a Trump thing."
What was that hole from?
I don't
Was
know.
that like the She-Hulk caused that?
Well, it's
that
probably
what
been there since
Someone
like the
trying to
first
fuck
Avengers
them.
movie. Like, there's a piece of alien debris that lodged itself, and New York just still hasn't cleaned it out of the road, even though it's been since 2008. That would be my guess, because red tape strangles everything, which it does. But yeah, I think that was designed to try and show part of his appeal. Like you say, like he's a tough man, he's a front man, he gets out, he gets things done very quickly. He doesn't really pay attention to piddling things like red tape, and people to get frustrated by that kind of thing. Like blue collar workers will like him for that. You see like a
Maybe.
couple of policemen come up and congratulate him, and the workers seem to like him. I think that was their attempt to portray his appeal, whilst also secondarily showing that the pollster woman that he drags around with him for no apparent reason is wrong about fucking everything.
Yeah.
And yet she remains employed, and I don't know
Yeah.
why.
Yeah.
She'll be right in the end. That's why. She'll go,
Well,
I told you.
It's also insulting to the audience, because it's like you got these blue collar workers that are just buying into whatever Kingpin's saying, and they're going to vote for him, similar to what we just experienced, and that the college elites, or the white collars, they're profiting, and they're going to vote the opposite way, because they don't see how they're going to gain anything from having Kingpin slash Trump. So that's kind of like a kind of an insult to the audience. And if you really want to look at it, and I think most of people don't even realize it, but that's what they're trying to get at, in my opinion. So
Yeah.
it's kind of a slap in the face to general audience.
It's just stupid things like after he wins and everybody's clapping and everything, and he turns to see Vanessa, and Vanessa's gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the first thing he thinks of, she's on the roof. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. When my friend disappears from a room, the first thing I'm going to think about is she's on the roof or he's on the roof. Do you know what I mean? So you check the rooms first, wouldn't you? Well, why the roof? I guess it's because it's cinematic that you see.
Even when they're going through the streets and asking questions about Fisk, and the women are like, "Oh, I hate him," and the men and then the lower class people are like, "Oh yeah, he's going to stand up for the people." It's like, okay, I see what you're doing here. Like,
yeah.
And season 3 did little bits and pieces of that, because you saw like the proliferation of terms like fake news that get dropped in, but they're all relatively diegetic. They're not slapping you over the face with the like allegorizing. What they are is just an acknowledgement of certain popular words and pieces of terminology, which are pretty useful when you're trying to explain, the politics of a show to an audience that will immediately understand what you mean. So there are ways to do that well, and there are ways to do it badly. I've seen many worse examples of it than this show. I just don't think this show's off to a particularly good start. And again, the fact that it has jumped forward in time rather than showing us why people would vote for him, it just seems like a massive missed opportunity.
Again, sounds like Arcane season 2.
Yeah.
But is it? I mean, like in the beginning, he's got the Disney suit on, a Disney red-ish suit on, and I've seen pictures from this season where he has the old costume on, which is from the Netflix. So do you think that beginning sequence was the sequence that they wrote before they rewrote the rest of it? What do you guys think?
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, he has quite a varied wardrobe, doesn't he? Like, he wore lots of very nice suits in season 3.
And he has the yellow suit from She-Hulk.
Oh no, that's
God,
that's not right. Wasn't
Yellow and
She-Hulk
brown, piss and shit.
Wasn't She-Hulk was in that film, The Monkey, right? I was watching The Monkey and I didn't recognize her at all. Then suddenly I realized it was the woman that played She-Hulk.
Oh yeah. She fucking eats shit in that movie.
Yeah, she
Was
does,
she completely insufferable in that one?
a bit, yeah.
Oh, what a
Mother
shock.
that don't care. Yeah.
Well, in further Disney news, John Bernthal spoke about his upcoming Punisher Disney Plus special. I'm getting the opportunity to tell the story I think fans deserve. It's not going to be Punisher light. I promise you that.
Better not be.
I hope so, but then the Daredevil is probably not a great example to kick that off with. This has been so. I mean, okay, admittedly only 2 episodes in, but if you compare the grittiness and how real the fight scenes are and the amount of blood and stuff, like it's a much tamer version of what we got from Netflix. And does Disney ever allow anyone to be, proper R-rated gore and violence? Ever?
I think they just think that if you swear a lot and put some CGI blood in, that makes it badass.
Okay.
That's enough right there.
Punisher might say, "Fuck, how dark and edgy he is."
But the last season of Punisher wasn't very good. There's some really good fight sequences in it, but as I recall, when I watched it, I got really bored of it really quickly because they
Really?
stretched it out. Yeah, the last season of Punisher, which was Netflix, was a Netflix thing. I didn't warm to the last one at all. When he was looking after that girl and everybody wanted that girl, do you remember? As a fight in the toilet. That season, that one was really slow and didn't make any sense. Whatever. Right. So
well, John Bernthal's writing for this series as well, or for this show as well. So
Could you imagine him sitting near a desk and he's got the script and the Disney exec is going, wait a moment, that guy does what? Can we turn that into a woman? What about this person here? Can she be black?
Make it lame and gay. Make it lame and gay.
Yeah, can we make it lame and gay,
Lame and
please?
gay. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't trust what he's saying. So there you go.
Yeah.
Is it
I
the
don't
same
trust what he's saying
showrunner?
completely.
I don't know.
I do not know either. I didn't go looking deep into this one. But I'm afraid just because it's Disney. I mean, we're seeing what we asked everyone at Disney not to fuck up, which was Daredevil. And the first 2 episodes in, it was like, cringe, a little worried at best. So.
Yeah.
The director of Born Again has basically said he wants to explore a Punisher story that's begging to be told. So,
good luck with that one.
It's all those
I
buzzwords. It's all those
Yeah.
buzz phrases and
Buzzword,
words
yeah.
that they use all the time.
It
It's
is.
just- it's gritty. It's grounded. It's dark. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
heard that about 80 times now.
Yeah, what I can say about Daredevil Born Again so far is the director or showrunner coming out and saying it's basically better than the Penguin is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
I can't believe that guy was talking out of his ass that extremely. And this
So,
is what he
hold on.
produces.
So you know the last season of Punisher, there's this fantastic fight in the toilet where he literally beats the crap out of 2 women in the toilet. Do you reckon that's going to happen in Disney? Do you reckon that's going to happen in this new one where he beats the crap out of 2 women?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Of course. There you
No,
go.
they wouldn't have the balls.
Yeah.
No way.
My heart sinks. Never mind.
Damn. Well, there's further superhero news, not necessarily news, but people are certainly commenting on their characters here. Robert Downey Jr. shared what Iron Man means to him. 17 years I've been associated with this iconic superhero. It's the message he represents that I'm grateful for. Tony Stark opened my eyes wider to the power technology has to impact the world for good. And that's something I'll carry for the rest of my life.
Oh, he's going to make Ultron, isn't he? That's where this ends. I've seen this before.
Yeah.
Well, it came at a very important part of his life. When was it? Just out of prison?
Yes. He was in
Ish,
trouble.
yeah.
He was in
Well,
trouble.
he was sleeping on. Was it whose couch? Was it Mel Gibson's or I can't remember.
I
But
think it was
basically,
Mel
it was
Gibson.
a huge risk, wasn't it? The whole Iron Man film. They said if this film doesn't take off, you lose the right to Iron Man because I can't remember the time. Did Disney buy it or was Marvel being
No,
sold?
it was Marvel. It was Marvel that had it when they first made the first
Yeah,
one.
they licensed it Paramount for distribution.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was the big gamble. If it didn't work, then it would have just fucking that would be the end of Iron Man. It would just be completely sold out, and then it worked, and then the fucking MCU happened.
Yeah.
I mean, it was,
The thing is,
an
though-
inspired move because, like, notwithstanding his many problems with many things, he was always an incredibly talented and very charismatic actor. So,
Absolutely.
in a sense, it was about as calculated a risk as you could possibly take. You've got a guy who's at the bottom, but you know how good he's capable of being. So, fuck it. The movie's a risk anyway. What do we lose by casting someone we would never normally get that talent level if the person didn't have drug problems? So, fuck it. Give him it.
The thing is, though, Iron Man, the character of Iron Man, Tony Stark, was never like this in the comics. It was Downey Jr. that brought himself to Tony Stark, which made it
Yeah,
all the better.
if you watch the film that came out, I think a couple of years before Iron Man, it was called A Scanner Darkly. It's almost like that character,
Yes.
but just with a mustache and goatee.
Yeah.
It really is. It's nothing like Iron Man in the comic books.
Here's the
Well,
thing.
I remember.
Oh, go ahead.
I was saying, I remember I used to watch reruns of the Iron Man cartoon,
Yes.
and it had the best intro ever, where he's just fucking making his thing. And then I watched him, and this is the most boring show I've ever seen. That fucking intro does not belong with that TV show. And we said, he's like a B-list, C-list character, and now he's literally the head of the Avengers.
It's because of Robbie Downey Jr. He was literally responsible for the start of Marvel. It gave a big kick up Marvel, pushed it right across to the normies. Iron Man
Blade, you could say that about Blade as well.
And Blade. Yeah, you're right about Blade. Yeah.
The thing about Robert Downey Jr. is that this is all about his ego at this point. Like everything, like he feels like everyone needs to hear his voice. Even the Doctor Doom thing, the way he came out, like I think people are just getting tired of looking at it. Like Pedro Pascal's another one. People are just tired of seeing these individuals, and they think that their voice means something. And like, look at them. Like we didn't hear from them for months after the election because they thought they did that Avengers Assemble for the election. Like, and that was a big laughing stock. It feels like they always need to be present. Like they'll hide for a couple months and then come out and say things like this. And we're supposed to be like, oh, that's awesome. Like, I don't give a shit. I really don't care what you got to say. Because all you're doing.
Sorry, how do you think they're gonna he's gonna portray Doom? Is he gonna lean into the Tony Stark version, then do a big twist where he's Doom, or do you think he'll be completely different right off the bat?
I don't know. Question. I hope he just creates a whole new character. I do not want to see fucking Tony Stark as Doctor Doom. I want a whole.
Will that be like a twist though? Like he lures them in, he lures Spider-Man in, he lures everyone else pretending to be Tony Stark, and then one or two characters think, oh no, it's not actually quite him, he's a bit different. Then
are we going to even care? Are we going to even care at that point when that movie comes out? Because I'm probably not.
Like a year from now, so it's not very far.
Yeah, like, but Russo brothers, the way they're writing and we've seen what they just did on Netflix with the Electric State, that $300 million movie that's getting just destroyed by critics. Like, have they done anything? Like, are they going to do anything with this? I just don't. I have no faith in Marvel or Disney at all.
Well, I mean, they're banking on it because at the moment the sales pitch for that movie is Avengers Doomsday starring Robert Downey Jr. and question mark, and that's kind of it. That's all they've got. They are banking on people still being interested because of who he is. And I agree, it will be really interesting to see how he does choose to play it. And you can do very interesting things with either approach. I quite like the idea that he sort of lures them in, except that, I mean, it would require foreknowledge on the part of his character, which it wouldn't necessarily have. And I think, I mean, my guess is that he'll play it very differently straight off the bat to maximize that initial shock value. The first time you see his face and he's completely different would probably be more useful to them in a single movie than having him sort of ape Tony Stark up until the point when it's like, but it's not really him.
Well, that's the thing is Doom is either wearing a mask or when it's off, his face is all fucked up. So he's not, he shouldn't be, in theory anyway, if you're doing it right, he shouldn't be recognizable to anybody.
Yes, but he should be in the Fantastic Four film, but he's not.
Is he not?
Not even in the post-credit scene.
Yeah, like Thanos.
From what they're saying, he's not even in the film. It's Galactus, it's She-Surfer, it's like it's all these other characters, and the one person that Fantastic Four needs to be successful is Doctor Doom, because that's the yin to the yang of Dr. Richards.
They'll mention him. They'll say he's coming or something vague.
Wait a moment. So if it's she, Silver Surfer, has she got boobs then?
I hope so.
Boobs.
I hope she got
silver boobs.
It's made out of fucking steel.
Does she knock you out with them? She turns and just decks you.
Bang. Those are her weapons.
Is it like the robots of Austin Powers where you just start shooting silver at you?
Yeah. The thing about Doomsday and Secret Wars is even if Robert Downey Jr. has an appearance in Fantastic Four, they have to build not only his entire character arc and do the entire thing, but they also have to build the like you were saying, Gooch, the connection between Mr. Fantastic and Dr. Doom, because that is the crux of Secret Wars. It is the most important fundamental aspect of Secret Wars is those two and how they interact with each other. So they have a lot of heavy lifting to do in just 2 films.
Not just
that seems like it would take a whole fucking phase or 3 to build.
Yeah, not just that as well. Who are the Avengers? Like, who's
that?
Is Thor even around?
Well, there were those leaked images, weren't they? From like concept art images. I don't know if they've been debunked yet. We went through them on EFAP on Saturday. Of like Star-Lord is in it. A bunch of the young Avengers, Kate Bishop, Wiccan, Kamala Khan is there, as well. And then there's a shot of like the Hulk's on a Hulk planet. And like, but this is all. I don't see how they can do anything except say this is an Avengers movie which doesn't have the Avengers, and this will end on a dark note, and they will all realize, shit, we need to get the team back together, and then they will get back together for the next movie. But this movie will be like individual heroes fighting and failing, would be my guess.
Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four already based on that trailer. Sue Storm is the lead of that family.
Yes, definitely.
Based on that trailer.
Can't unsee it. You can't.
Yeah, you can't.
Would you give films a thumb up if Doctor Doom just comes in and murders all the young Avengers? He kills Rick and he kills She-Hulk.
That would be
it's
10 out of 10.
2 hours of him just brutally murdering people in the most creative of ways. Like he sticks She-Hulk's head in a frying pan and just burns it.
It's and just they have a big film. I would give it 10 out of 10. And they put rainbow flags on their coffins as they lower them down.
He's choking them with a rainbow flag. Oh, he's doing like loads of mad stuff.
Yeah.
The writing's terrible now anyway. The Russo brothers, I mean, I think they've been inducted into this gender shit.
Do you think they'll acknowledge Kang?
It's going to be bad.
Will they acknowledge Kang? I think it would be stupid to just yo-yo like that. Take him out. Well, actually, we need to throw him in a little bit.
Because there's like a million Kangs are coming, and he goes, "Is Kang here?" He goes, "Nah, he's lost."
He's
and
dead.
There's just a million of them lost. Can't find the way.
And I don't know if you've talked. You probably talked about the Fantastic Four trailer, but like the Thing, that voice is.
Everybody says that. Yeah.
Oh my god! Like it
looks good. He looks like
but he's acting exactly the way he did in Bear. Like he's doing the same character with like the cooking with the you need more garlic in there. I'm like, that's the same character that he's in the Bear. Like
I never watched the Bear, so that's a hilarious.
Yeah, it's the same character. Cousin.
And what did Sue Storm catch Johnny doing in his bedroom, for God's sakes?
Well,
quick wank or something like that.
Well, he looks like the biggest twink I've ever seen. Like I'm like, what happened to Storm? Like that you.
I know.
He looks like he's going to
be gay. He's going to be gay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Russo brothers have a plan to shut down leaks and set photos for Avengers Doomsday. The location work we are doing, we have picked those locations with leaks in mind. So with this being said, do you think the art leaks were real?
They're not clever enough to do that. Seriously, they're not. There's going to be leaks, and they're going to be proper leaks at that. You know.
So, what were the concept arts like? Like you said something about Planet Hulk or something.
Nothing that you like haven't seen before. It's like you get to see Black Panther, and it's like, oh, good, they're recasting him. At least they're doing that instead of having fucking Surrey back. God damn.
But who are they going to pick?
His son is supposed to.
So
I don't know about the time gap or anything like that. Like they're fast forwarding apparently and having his son pick up the mantle.
That always goes well. Fast forwarding.
When the fuck did he have a son?
At the end of Black Panther 2.
Yeah, he did. Wakanda Forever. It's like the post credit scene, isn't it? They go in.
Yeah.
Oh, I left the theater immediately.
Why can't I just replace him with another actor?
I think they should have and could have, but at the time it seemed to them the right thing to do was to not recast him. But I'm like, when they wouldn't recast him, like, what kind of fucking impact do you think this guy had? Like, it wasn't that big of a deal. He was in 3 movies or 4 or whatever. 3 of them were basically like cameos. I thought it was a little overcooked how much they were sucking that dead dude's dick, but no offense to him.
Terrible.
Yeah, like there's almost next to no build up because we at least knew what Thanos was going to do. He's going to get the 5 Infinity Stones. He's going to wipe out half of humanity, well, half the universe. And what is Doom's objective? Like, there's no inclination.
Well, aren't they leading up to that with the films that are happening? And they not giving clues of what's going to happen?
Well, if Fantastic Four is the only film out and he's not even in it,
yeah, like, that's the problem. That's the problem. He should be the head villain in that movie, but it's Galactus, She-Surfer. I think Mole Man might be making an appearance. A couple other characters.
Too many.
Exactly. Too many. That's what I keep saying. Focus on your hero and your villain. That's all you need. That's why
Speaking
people
of
love Batman. That's why they love Batman. You got one
Mm.
hero and you got a rogue gallery, but you only get one villain, maybe two.
Mm.
Well, does anyone think Fantastic Four is going to beat Superman?
No, they're both
No.
going to be shit. They are. They're going to lose to the dinosaurs. They're going to lose to Jurassic World, whatever. New
Yeah, that's
World,
very
whatever.
popular, isn't it?
Yeah.
All those films had made money, no matter how
Uh,
bad they were.
I work in a school, and I asked the kids, "What do you want to go see Superman?" Like, no. Do you want to see the new Fantastic Four? Who are they? Do you want to go see the rest? Oh yeah, and they have dinosaurs as they're talking to me.
There you go.
Maybe
That's what they're going to go see.
Maybe they think
don't.
asking them out on a date. Do you want to go to see the Fantastic Four film? And they're like, no.
Superman's going to flop because it's, again, you need the one villain and one hero, but you got such a surrounding cast with that. And WB, all they're banking on is this movie to make $1 billion. If that is your mindset,
That's not
to
happening.
get this movie, it's not. I say it's going to make maybe 600, maybe 600.
No Superman movies ever made that much money.
Exactly.
And Batman, their most popular character, always it generally hits like the Dark Knight trilogy. 2 of them hit barely over $1 billion, and that's their most popular character. So
Yep.
And this Superman, he's got a really bad costume. It looks like
bad.
It's like the costume doesn't even fit him. It looks like that's what it looks like to me.
It's a shame because the actor he looks like a Clark Kent, but he's too tall. He doesn't have that V taper.
Yeah.
Like Superman has to have that chest. He has to be imposing. Like he's got to look like a hero, and he kind of looks too thin and lanky. And
it looks like he's been cut. Anyway,
yeah.
Let's move on, shall we? Let's move on, shall we?
So the thing with Marvel is it's Fantastic Four. Is there any TV shows or any movies before Doomsday?
No.
Ironheart.
Ironheart.
Oh yeah, Ironheart.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
That's
gonna be
so good.
Oh, it's gonna be amazing.
Can't wait for that.
Hopefully, she's the first hero that he kills.
Like he just crushes her head slowly.
You know that's not going to happen. She's black
if he
and
just
she's a
wiped
woman.
out
So
the Young Avengers, that'd be number one. I'd be ballsy by them, but I would fucking I'd have an erection.
Yeah, Thunderbolts.
the Thunderbolts.
Yeah, Thunderbolts is the next one.
That doesn't look good at all.
Now they're going with the A24 tease, where they're saying it looks like it's an A24 studio film, and it's like, okay, this is Disney trying to lure you, bait, and it's going to be gritty. It looks darker. You're going to go see this movie. And you're going to be.
Did you like the way the trailer begins with just like a succession of lines? It's like from the creators of things you've heard of.
Yeah.
Here is a movie with characters you don't know. It's great.
Well, like all characters, half of them are the same, and like you get the bit where they go, "We're the bad guys," and you're like, "No, you're not. 3 of you are being mind controlled. U.S. agent is objectively a hero.
Yeah.
Most of them aren't evil." And yet they're going for a Suicide Squad bullshit.
Yeah, they are. And Bucky, he basically why he didn't help Falcons because he had to go and join that team, didn't he?
No, he was a congressman.
He's running for Congress.
Of course, Congress. Yeah,
Congressman Bucky.
A former Soviet fucking assassin is a congressman.
A man who killed JFK.
Yeah, he killed JFK. Yes.
What is it? It's like, you're going to help me? No, I've got to go to a. It's ridiculous, isn't it? Absolutely ridiculous.
It wasn't from the bush, guys. I'm telling you right now. The grassy knoll.
Kennedys are allowed to kill people and go to Congress, but you're not allowed to kill Kennedys and go to Congress. It doesn't work in the same way. Like how the fuck? Like what does he hope to do? He's not going to get on like the House Intel Committee. They'll do background checks. Are you like a former mind-controlled Soviet super soldier? Probably not going to give you the national where did that decision even come from?
Captain Israel was a Black Widow, and she's head of security for the president.
Yeah.
God, she was a mutant, but then they cut that from the movie.
Yes, they did. Yeah.
Well, no, she is a mutant. We can all see it. It's just the wrong type. It's the real world type of mutant where you're fucking 5 foot tall.
All the arguments that he couldn't be that Bucky could not be Captain America because of all the atrocities he has committed.
That's
and
crap.
it gets even more ridiculous because they make him a fucking congressman. No, that's much more believable than him being a vigilante.
Exactly. It's crap because they wanted a black man to be Captain America.
Oh,
That's the reason.
100%. That's exactly that was
nonsense.
the rank they pulled. This is what needs to happen because it was whatever.
So how is he
2020
going to lose his Congress race? Like, what's going to happen? How is he? Because he's washing his arm in the dishwasher, looking all sad.
Maybe someone will be like, "We can't have this guy. He killed JFK." And then
someone
we'll
actually
move on.
points out one intelligent character in Marvel goes, "I have a problem with this."
I think this is a bad choice, you guys.
I don't know about you. This isn't Highlander. You can't kill a Kennedy, become him.
It'll be something like he texts a dick pic to someone, and he's going to be like, "Oh, wait, whoa! You need to leave Congress." Like,
Bucky's secretly a ladies' man.
He also puts that in the dishwasher.
They must pay them a lot of money. Those actors must be getting a crap load of money to do this Marvel stuff. Marvel's lost as far as I'm concerned. They don't know what direction they should go in. They're just basically trying to make up things as they go along. They've got no plan whatsoever. They don't have any common sense either, as far as I can tell, judging by Daredevil.
The scripts are right in front of you. You got all these books.
They got
and
this
they can't.
You got this. Why don't you just follow this?
Yes.
Never mind.
The best thing they can do is take a break.
Yes.
But they can't take a break. They were so reliant on it. But there's the double-edged sword, because with everything they pump out, if it's bad, it really reflects poorly on the entire IP. And it lowers the value of the IP overall. It's like Star Wars.
Well, did you have that article by Star Wars Theory where he put out the George Lucas series that he had planned, the Underworld series, where it was like over 10 seasons and it was like 40 million
an episode, right?
Yeah. And it would have been that would have saved Star Wars. That would have like that, because it was supposed to be extremely violent, sex, blood, guts. Like it was supposed to be like a,
So he just wanted Game of Thrones.
Yeah, for the Underworld, we would have. Boba Fett would have been one of the main characters, but I think we would have seen Darth Maul and seen a lot of the bounty hunters in there, and seen how like this would have probably been between, I guess, Star Wars, original Star Wars, and what's the last one with Anakin there? Escaping me right now, but it would have been in between there, and it would have been great.
Anything's better than what we got.
Yeah, anything's better than the Acolytes. I would definitely take it.
That was genius. What are you talking about?
What is the status? Like, you look at the state of Star Wars, and it's just Andor season 2. This side character in this one-off film is the highlight of their TV run. That's it. That's all they've got.
It's not good.
And there's nothing moving the world forward. Like I said before, you can enjoy a season, but Star Wars is still like fucked.
I think Marvel's fucked as well, tell you the truth.
I think
Disney
IPs are.
Yeah.
The worst decision was splitting it up from movies to TV shows.
Yeah.
That was the worst, because they've all been absolutely terrible. You've just you've half the amount of resources available to make twice as many products, and then you have to follow the fucking TV show to film. Like, Daredevil has this problem. You have to watch Echo to know he got mind raped. You have to watch the fucking Hawkeye to know he got shot in the face. It's this fucking up and down with the TV shows and films. Completely divides attention.
Yeah, and they're not separate, because the more, first of all, oversaturation is a problem, but you're oversaturating people with terrible shit. And then after that, like they can't be separated, because for every TV show, it diminishes the specialness of new movie
of a film. Yeah, of a film.
Yeah,
they should have just made 1 or 2 TV shows and just concentrate on the movies. That's what they should have done. But
and that applies to Marvel and DC, or Marvel and Star Wars. I mean,
yeah.
Now with DC, they did it right with one show, The Penguin, and that's
if you see Star Wars every week, it's going to diminish when like a movie comes out. It's going to not make it special. Do you know what I mean? And that's plus bad writing and crappy agenda destroyed Star Wars.
Yeah, it'd be a whole
So,
other
yeah.
story if it was actually quality, but you're just
Yeah.
oversaturating the market with dog shit. That's
Well,
a double whammy.
in the
Double whammy.
Penguins case, there's no Batman 2 for God knows how long. Like,
Seven more years, maybe.
Robert Pattinson said, I'm going to go fucking old before I can play
he
it.
said, I'm going to be fucking old Batman by the time the second one came out.
Didn't Colin Farrell said he didn't want to do season 2 of Penguin, didn't
Yeah,
he?
he
He's
said
like,
only
no.
if it's, something worth doing. He basically said art over commerce in this case. Yeah.
I
Thing
think
is,
that's
though,
a mistake. They shouldn't do Penguin 2. I think you just
I'll just let it be.
he's
let
like,
it
how
be.
many hours in the chair to get made up every morning?
eight or 9 hours or something.
It's
Oh my
crazy.
God.
I wonder why he doesn't want to do it. Do you know what I mean? That's good. That's horrible.
Sounds
Sitting 8
horrendous.
hours in the chair. Probably just falls asleep anyway, and they just do the makeup on him. But yeah,
Maybe he's sitting there playing Pokemon.
probably.
Next up on the talking block was a little bit about James Cameron. He's been talking about this movie lately. So this is going to be the longest film in the franchise yet. The last one was 3 hours and 12 minutes.
Well, how long's this one?
excited are we?
4 hours? Is it gonna have an intermission halfway through?
He said that I wish I had grabbed the quote from him, but he essentially said the characters they weren't getting enough, like characterization. They weren't getting enough time with the actual developing their arcs, so they decided to extend it even further and make this movie even longer. So
Yeah.
So the last one was 3 hours.
Yes.
yep.
So this is going to be longer, on par with Lord of the Rings.
I wouldn't be surprised if this one flops, because
It won't.
It won't. Yeah,
probably
everyone.
won't.
Why? I said that about the second one, and I hoped for it.
But it doesn't make any sense. Avatar is the most bizarre franchise ever.
It really is.
It becomes the number one grossing film of all time, and then just dies culturally. Nobody talks about it. Nobody remembers it. And then, but suddenly, it's like a mass brainwash goes on, and we all have to go watch Avatar.
Not I don't go see it.
I think James Cameron makes movies for the cinema. Like watching Avatar, especially the first one on your TV, it doesn't work. Especially the second one. When I went to see I went to a special screening. It was 3D and it was in IMAX. So it looked fantastic. It is an event, cinema event when he makes his films.
But I don't want to go to
beyond that. It doesn't work.
I don't want to go to a movie where I have to have a catheter because it's like 8 hours long. It's like I don't need to do that.
No, don't get the Coke. Don't get the large Coke when you get to see this film.
I do have to get going.
Right. Okay, mate.
Thanks.
Oh, right on.
So much. Thank you for the invite, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you for coming.
Yes.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Gooch.
It's nice to it's nice hanging out.
Nice
with you guys
meeting you.
Nice meeting you guys. Yeah,
I'm totally not going to slag you off when you leave.
I expect it. Totally expect it. Tomorrow night, if you guys want, swing on by for Diabolical Souls Presents. We're going to be doing Solo Leveling episode 1 tomorrow night. So we're just kicking that one off. So anyway, you guys.
See
you later.
It's great.
Take care. Ta-da.
Bye. Right, now he's gone. Let's slag him off.
That fucker.
Twat.
Oh god, that's not a horse, is it? That he's thinking.
That's probably a blue.
Well, kind of yes and no.
Thing.
It's like a dinosaur horse thing.
Really
It actually makes the noise of a velociraptor from Jurassic Park. That's how closely I paid attention to these movies. I can pick out these sound effects. Those horses are using the same sound effects as velociraptors because every single thing in this film is stolen from something else, including the sound design.
Well, this concept is basically fucking Avatar: The Last Airbender. The Fire Nation's gonna attack.
No, it's a video game. It's like the fucking second. The first one was the jungle level, and the second one was the water level. Now we get the fire level, and the next one will be the fucking snow one. It's ridiculous.
You have what do you call Navi? Air Navi. This one water. Next fire, and then you're gonna have Earth to complete the fucking. And then one's going, "I am the Avatar," and he goes fucking Avatar mode.
It's so fucking corny.
Well, doesn't he get tired though? I mean, how many years has he been making this?
It's so crazy how invested he is in this trash.
I would
I
get
think that
really
a
tired
load
of
of
it.
lead-in time was like setting up all the production stuff, and once that's the reason there's the huge gap between 1 and 2, and now we are cursed to have an Avatar film basically every year for now until the end of time. Is that he's got the technology sorted out, and so now he can just mass produce them, much the same way that he does his scripts for the movies. Those scripts have been mass produced for ages. It just took ages to actually get the technology working.
From the sound of
many
it, he acts
sequels?
like he slaves over these scripts, and they're just.
He fucking doesn't.
I know.
I mean, I imagine he slaves over reading other people's scripts and pressing Control C, and that's basically the extent of the writing work. Change a few nouns, and there it's an Avatar script. Dances with wolves, hooray! We'll do that, and then for the second movie, well, we'll do it again
On
in
water.
in a slightly bluer setting, and this time it'll be again, but in a red
red-
setting with some fire.
He's got 5 Avatar films planned. 2025, this one. 2029, number 4, and 2031, number 5. And he says he has interest in possibly going through 6 and 7. Although he says 7 might be a bit too much.
Really? Not good enough story for 1. Never mind 7.
Is he not? I thought he was making a TV show as well, Avatar TV show.
Oh,
I
probably.
thought. Yeah.
God, it never ends. It's just Avatar everywhere. And the fucking message of the film is fucking horrible. Betray your race for some fucking alien pussy.
That was the
Don't try
first
and-
one.
Don't try and bridge the fucking world. Don't try and solve both things. Immediately sell out all your principles for some fucking Catwoman.
Who's the star of this film again? Worthington. What's his name? What's
Sam
the
Jake
Worthington.
Sully.
Yeah, Jake Sully is the only
Jake
character
Sully.
with a name
Yeah.
that anyone remembers.
Sam Worthington hasn't done anything apart from this, right? Am I
That's why
right?
he loves this movie series. I bet.
Wasn't he was in Terminator, the thing?
Oh, yeah.
the-
Terminator, the Christian Bale one.
Salvation.
Yeah. But
Salvation,
that was a
that's
long
one.
time ago.
That was like
And the only thing-
2007 or something.
But he
The only
kind of
thing
just has
people
no
remember-
charisma. So like, all the CGI does all the acting work for him because he's not that good.
But as I
Acts
said, he's
are
not
rich.
been in anything apart from Avatar, right? For the last what?
Yeah, not for a long time.
Yeah, well, they tried to push him, and then as Platoon said, he's a very B-list, C-list actor.
He's boring.
Yeah,
He
he's
just
very
blends in with
serviceable.
everything. Yeah, because he was
The
in
only
that
thing-
Clash of the Titans series. I think they did 2 of those.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that I don't know. It's just,
yeah. Like
boring.
the only thing people remember from Salvation is Christian Bale attacking the cameraman.
Yeah, that's the most memorable part of the whole thing was the behind the scenes drama when he just fucking lost it. Want me to trash your fucking lights? You want me to fucking trash them?
Ah, good for you.
Oh,
Good for you.
da, like this. Good for you.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Oh, that is I have listened to that clip way more times than I've seen that movie. Oh my god.
Fire and ash. Oh god.
Fire and ass. Yeah.
Shall I go and
Oh,
see this?
that's going to be the
Okay.
title. Going to steal that. That's definitely the title when this film comes out. That'll be my video. Fire and ass. Why not?
That's pretty good.
You're welcome.
Just the movies can't even keep their own like basic story structure. Because remember how in like, the first one the premise is, oh, underneath the hippie tree there is unobtainium and we want it.
Yeah.
There's
What
no
happened to that?
unobtainium in 2. It doesn't exist. They forgot it. It doesn't.
They don't give
It
a
doesn't
fuck about
recur.
it.
In 2, it's oh fuck, the world is dying. But also there are whales which have goo in their brains that makes people immortal. It's like what?
Yeah, it's
What?
the new MacGuffin.
What the
It's
fuck?
Great.
Okay, what happened to the unobtainium? Are we not doing that anymore? No, we're not doing that anymore. Now it's like humans have to leave Earth and come here to this planet, which is massively toxic and that we have to terraform. But we won't do it from orbit because if we did that, we'd win. So we have to land and do it from the ground. Just fucking burn them from the sky. They have no spaceships.
But
you
it's
think
true
they'll-
though, isn't it? Sorry, go ahead. Go on, Reaper. Go.
Do you think they'll go for like the Fire Navy teaming up with the humans, and then they're using guns and some shit?
Yeah,
like,
it'll be like that because I'm sure there's some like
Legend
Native
Nature.
American film where that happens, right? There'll be like there's always the tribe that sides with the evil white man. There has to be. It's the evil racial sellout people. And then they
They'll-
use the guns and they win.
they'll chop down. They'll do what fucking Saruman did. They'll chop down the forests, and then they'll start making orc weapons and shit.
Given that this Avatar, I would not be surprised if the trees came to life and fought back. Just because it's like that's exactly the kind of shit he would do.
And the humans are a white wizard. And he goes,
But
"Alright."
don't they get something from the trees? Like they connect this thing as I can remember
they're
the
weird.
film, and
Yeah, they
They have
sex with it.
USBs. Yeah, they have
Yeah.
USB hairs, and they have sex with USBs as well, which is like where the fun. Where is the fun in that? But they do. That's also how they connect to animals, though, which is a slightly weird thing.
They
How
rape
do you?
them.
Yeah, you ride them by connecting your USB that you just
You plug your
connect
sex
with your
organ into
girlfriend
the
with,
animals.
and, yeah, and you
Unwillingly.
connect with nature.
It's
Yeah.
it's no consent. The animal doesn't want it, and you stick it in.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm confused.
He's
Avatar,
developed a fucked up
bestiality.
world. It's just everything rapes everything. That's how it works.
Avatar. I'll probably go and see it anyway, just for the
Yeah, fuck it, I'll
experience.
see it. He says.
We all will. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
just for
It's a
experience.
trap. We
Yeah.
all have to see Avatar, but we don't
Yeah.
know why. We're all
Yeah.
fucking brainwashed.
Hypnotized. Yeah. Oh my god.
I might just like release for a review that I might just do my Avatar 2 video and just put a color filter on it and just release the same video because I'm sure it'll be the same film.
Yeah.
But just
Same
change
criticism.
when you say water, just change it to fire every time.
make it
in that
really
review.
Make it very
Yeah.
obvious that you're
Yeah,
just
really obvious.
Yeah.
And then the fire.
The
Burn
way
through the
of
forest.
fire. Have someone else have a completely different person voice it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh
my
my
god.
Well, in further news, Mickey 17 came out and bombed.
What is
Okay.
this? I've heard the name and I know nothing about it. What is
I
Mickey
was
17?
really excited about this, but apparently it's absolutely awful. It's gotten such negative feedback that I decided I don't want to see it until it's out on
Well-
streaming. That's the kind of effect word of
Well,
mouth
I'm
can
watching
have.
a pirated copy right now. I'm halfway through it, and then I had to come on the stream. So
Tell me about it.
He
58
didn't say
minutes in.
pirated. He meant something else. Everybody.
It's
He's
the
sailing the
UK.
high seas, folks.
It's the UK. I can get arrested for doing anything.
Saying anything as well, mate.
Well, so like it's very slow. It does what Daredevil does. It rushes very interesting concepts. Like it doesn't really do anything with the fact that there's two of them. Like what it means to be human, what it means to be an individual. Is life? It rushes these very big questions and just kind of does this really boring kind of. The jokes aren't really funny. It's not very intelligent. Like, I'll give you a quick premise. So like
Sure.
it starts off. He's an expendable. So when he gets like he's signed up to a program, so every time he dies, a copy of him with his memories gets uploaded. Now it's very obvious that each one of them who dies is a different Mickey. It's not the same guy. But the film doesn't seem to be aware of that. Like it talks about it ever so slightly when Mickey 17 and Mickey 18 are both made at the same time, when they both meet each other. But it never goes any deeper than that, and it's really shit. And then you got Mark Ruffalo, who is such an obvious Trump allegory. Like I'm not joking. There's a scene where they're trying to escape this like criminal enterprise because Mickey owes money, so he takes a trip off Earth. It doesn't seem to play any more into that. They keep bringing up the fact that he owes money to a loan shark. Yeah, it doesn't. I'm only halfway through the film, but it doesn't seem to play any more into it. But anyway, they go into space because he's failed 2 elections. I wonder who that's about. And then his followers all have red hats. Fucking, I'm
Oh
not
my
like
God.
it couldn't be more overt. And then, and
This
like
is Megalopolis all over again.
kind of, and it's also really slow. Like the first 30 minutes is just preamble. Like he's just narrow because he's about to die, and then 30 minutes just kind of getting back to where he is, but very, very slowly. Like you could sum up all the stuff that happens in the first 30 minutes in about 5 easily.
Is it a comedy?
Not really. Like I thought they were gonna have more fun with his deaths, but it's they don't play it too sad, and they don't play it funny.
Yeah.
So it's the
happens.
worst of both. Yeah, like instead of like kind of focusing on how inhumane they're treating him, it kind of tries to poke fun, but the jokes really wear thin very quickly because you see him die like 7 times immediately, and it's just wore off.
Hmm.
Because I'm still only hot. I literally just paused the film to come on this, so I'm still kind of thinking about it.
Wouldn't he have trauma
But-
though? Because if he remembers what
Not
happens
really.
to him, I mean, if you would,
But he
wouldn't
doesn't
you?
remember his death. He's backed
Oh,
up.
he doesn't remember the death. Okay.
But
Okay.
like even
Right.
then, it's like he should be very aware that it's not him because when Mickey 17 and 18 meet, he kind of goes, huh, maybe I'm this is just one version of me. We all have our memories. And that's it. They don't really go into it anymore. He goes, oh, okay. Like, you'd think you went, oh, I'm not actually immortal. I'm just a clone.
Why
You'd
is it
think
in the
you know-
trailers they made it seem like he remembers his death?
Well, he backs up his memories every week. So he doesn't remember his death. He's just not very caring about his life.
Oh, okay.
So he goes, oh, this one's still alive. He goes, it doesn't matter. Kill me anyway. But he's clearly just a clone with someone else's memories. These are not the same. Every Mickey who died's a unique Mickey, but it doesn't explore it. I don't even think they know. And like, it's got this really stupid bit where Mark Ruffalo goes, "We're going to another planet which is white and with a superior race of humans."
Oh my god.
Right.
Man,
well,
I had
I'm not
such
watching
high
that.
hopes for this.
I'm
Yeah.
not watching it.
I'll try and put my thoughts together when it's finished. Again, only halfway through, but it is just so far, it's shit. It's just, it doesn't, it's not smart enough to really deal with the concepts it's got. And the sci-fi elements are kind of just shit. Like, it's like a really dumb Christian nationalist that goes to space organization. And he's obviously a Nazi. Like, they've got like a little church symbol that's like half a swastika.
Who's the guy who directed this?
Bong Joon-ho.
That's it. That's the fella.
I don't even know who wrote it, but this is terrible. Like, absolutely terrible. It's half-baked. It feels very half-baked.
Man. Yeah, this was one of my most anticipated movies for this year.
Not watching
Sounds
it.
awful. Yeah.
Yeah, like you said before, it's an interesting concept that that the film has no idea what it wants to do.
How is Robert Pattinson in it so far?
He's the best thing, but he's kind of like oh geez kind of person.
Oh
And
yeah. Oh shucks. Yeah.
they kind of just randomly, because when Mickey 18 comes in, I've only just got to this point. He meets Mickey 18, and then only about 50 minutes in, they go, "Oh wait, all the Mickeys have a different personality," and you're like, "What? That was never been a thing," and then now it is. Like, he's like a completely different person, which he's never been for 17 Mickeys. Like, they just throw in plot elements that randomly come out of nowhere.
Sounds like a major disappointment. I'll have to catch it, but probably wait till streaming.
Well, I've got a pretty good pirated copy if anyone wants to.
Well, you can DM me. I won't. Maybe I'll watch it.
No, you're not going. But if anyone's interested,
I'll watch it that way. Maybe
it's pretty good copy. I'll give it that. It doesn't even have the Slotlights logo.
Oh well, apparently since it didn't make any money, it must have been easy to film and pirate.
Oh yeah, look,
no one's in the theater.
Like, you'll be impressed with this copy.
Hell yeah! All right. I'll watch it for free. Fuck it.
That's open for everyone.
Yeah. Oh god.
But yeah, it doesn't know what it wants to do. It's a terrible movie. It doesn't explore the ideas as deeply as it needs to. It's not funny enough, and it's just not intelligent.
It might all change when you watch the other half.
No.
Yeah, maybe the second half really picks
The second
it up.
half might really change everything. You never know.
And how they treat him is like, some people treat him like shit. Some people treat him nice, but that's it. It doesn't go any deeper. Like, how inhumane like the actual cloning process is, or anything. It just, some people are assholes, some people are not, and all the people who are not are women and diverse and all that shit.
Great. Well,
yeah.
That's Mickey 17, I guess, and it looks like it's gonna bomb. I don't know how. Let me pull that back up again too, because this math doesn't math. That's basically, it needs like 400 million to break even, not 275. I don't know how people get that number, but minimum you have to double the production and marketing budget combined in order to break even, because the movie theaters take a huge chunk of the money at minimum. Like, it works like this. Every studio gets to kind of set their prices, and Disney does it best as far as how they get money. But in the first 2 weekends, the movie studio gets the vast majority of the money, because that's when most of it's made. And then it trickles down from there until it reaches 50-50. after like 4 or 5 weeks. So like 4 or 5 weeks in, the movie theater itself will be getting like 50% of the money, and then it's like a seesaw. It goes like this. But essentially, you have to double the production and marketing budget once they're combined in order to break even, and that's how it works. So 275, that is not it. It's more like 400, and it's opening the 53 million worldwide. It's not even going to come close. I saw some people complaining like, Hollywood releases original sci-fi movie and people abandon it. I guess you guys don't really want what you say you want. It's like, well,
It sucks.
I've heard it's a piece of shit. So like, that's why I'm not going to see it. It was an exciting concept, but people I trust say it's bad.
But
so
what's interesting is that I saw something. I don't know if you know the Corridor Crew, which is a channel on YouTube. It's a special effects company that do special effects.
I like
and
those guys. They're
yeah,
fun.
they're fun. They showed this guy who took 3 years to do this short film with special effects and everything, and it was one guy, right? And you should see the quality that he kicks out. Then they showed another one where this kid comes from school and he does all this stuff on Blender and all that, and you should see the quality. So the question is, right, why are they spending so much money on this film? Why? I mean, you could just hire a kid, do you know what I mean, out of school to do the effects probably that's in this movie, because what they can do these days is amazing just on their PCs. I'm serious. So Hollywood's dead. It's gonna die. It really is gonna die. And the reason why they don't want it to die is because all those exec producers want their cut, don't they? That's why the films have to be that expensive. But sooner or later, they're going to realize that they have to change that, and you're going to have special effects with 5 people doing visual effects, I reckon, rather than like a whole.
Well, maybe it'll go back to
team.
being good again. That's why Jurassic Park still holds up.
Yeah.
1993. It's like 32-year-old movie, and it still looks fantastic.
The reason why Jurassic Park looks fantastic is because they mix physical effects and
With the
CGI.
animatronics.
With animatronics. So that's why it works so well, seamlessly. But the latest film, it's all CGI, and it all looks terrible as far as I'm concerned, or too perfect. That's why it doesn't register in your head as something real, if you know what I mean. So
yeah, I think when we were talking about Daredevil, it probably was time constraints. I certainly don't think it's skill set. I think they're artists are probably just getting better and better. It's more about time constraints and having to redo things and doing it over and over. And then you get Daredevil, who looks like Gumby flying around.
Ricky 17.
Pedro Pascal. In other news,
why are you torturing me?
I'm sorry. He was asked about his thoughts on The Last of Us Season 2, which will be coming out, and he said it's fucking heartbreaking. The showrunners are sick people. Didn't they base this off a video game? Shouldn't you already know the story?
He's probably, they probably cut that word out. It's fucking shit. They change it to
heartbreaking shit.
Yeah. I can't watch this man anymore. I really can't.
Didn't they say they have enough for 4 seasons? Isn't that the plan?
Is anybody watching it?
Well, it's like the story. The story isn't gonna. I'll double check actually. But I remember Neil Druckmann saying he wants to do 4 seasons of this, and I'm like, there's not enough story. There's barely enough for 2.
And so the story for the games is incredibly unpopular as well. So it's not as though people, and there might not even be a third one because he's now said that 2 might be all you're going to get. So whether there is enough to extend it beyond this, and if anybody even wants it to extend beyond this, if it maps the game faithfully and everybody hates it because they hated the game, why would anybody want a 3rd or a 4th season of this show?
Will they though? Like, you've got the normie audience, people who like Handmaiden's Tale are going to watch it.
It's not that. It's all about the algorithm. They have to make content.
But you've got really, gamers, you have to be really invested. A lot of people, especially when it comes to TV shows, are on the phones. They're not really paying attention. Yeah. They'll just look up and go, they won't question how stupid it is for Joel to be in that situation. They'll just go, wow, he got golf clubbed.
It's a different playing field now. It's all about the algorithm. It's all about how many people. I heard, and I don't know if this is true. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, because I don't know. Because I was just told this. If you watch 5 minutes of any episode or any film on Netflix or Amazon, it counts in the algorithm, and that's all they're interested in.
I mean,
It's
they'll
not
probably
like-
have ways of telling like who sticks with it, but the public
Yeah.
numbers they release will be something like that. Yeah, if like 5-minute watch counts as a watch. It's Zack Snyder maths again. 1 watch counts as 2, 5 minutes counts as the whole
Plus,
thing.
there's
Therefore,
like
it's more
4 people
popular
in the
than Barbie.
household watching it, so therefore it was more popular than Barbie.
Yeah. So it's not accurate when you look at the numbers where it goes, this is number 1, this is number 2, and stuff like that, because we don't know whether the people that watched the number 1 show that's on there watched all of it. They might have just watched 20 minutes of it.
Mm.
Unlike in the old days with the networks where you could tell, I don't know how they could tell something's popular because everybody's talking about it the next day, right? So I don't know.
I think from what I remember, The Last of Us did have reasonably good word of mouth, and it did deserve it. To be fair, I think season 1 was on the whole pretty good, and lots of people quite enjoyed it. But then, like everyone who knows where it's going, always had that big asterisk after it. It's like, yes, I enjoyed season 1, but I know what comes next. I don't really want to have to fucking go through that again.
Well, he has actually said there's originally he went, there's going to be a part 3 after the games. He went, I've got this idea, and then now he's kind of going like, well, I don't think there's going to be a part 3 because he never had an idea. It's fucked because he knows everyone hates it. But he has actually said the part 2 will be split up into 4 seasons, so there'll be 4 seasons total.
Wait, what?
Well, 3.
Sorry,
Jesus Christ!
What? How?
There's going to be let me try and get it up. I had it. Oh, fucking had a second ago. He
They're
basically
really-
said there's going to be 3 seasons for this part 2 of the story. So there'll be 4
Why?
seasons total.
Why would you
I
make
think
3
he's-
seasons out of the unpopular bit?
Because
Why
they
don't
don't
you do
want
it for
to
the
kill
good
off
bit?
Joel that fast. That's why.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
Every person's going to have a big flashback episode. We're going to learn how everything happened, and it's going to be even worse. We're going to learn how the religious fundamentalists all shaved their heads.
And then which someone has to, I guess, find the strange alien child attractive because she's a leather now. So like, that'll be interesting.
She is ugly.
wanna-
Oh, did I say that out loud? Sorry.
I hope Fat Geralt gets an origin story. Because I've always wanted to punch a trans kid.
Oh, God.
God.
It's like Rocky 4. He's just training to fight one day.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, it's like we said before. He's just going to inundate it with just awful, pointless backstories. And I think that might be the plan. You have this terrible moments where everyone hates in the game and then just surrounded by boring slog. So people kind of forget about them. Because in the game, you just fucking... what's it called? Fucking waterboarded with shit.
Oh, dear. In fact,
I can't wait for him to die, though. I can't wait for Pedro Pascal to be clubbed to death like a seal.
It will be quite satisfying to see. Didn't they've struggled and then found it impossible to cast an Abby who looks like Abby, haven't they?
no, that's just ridiculous.
So,
Come on.
That should have been a giveaway when you designed the character. There isn't a single actress in the world who can play that part convincingly. So they've gone for someone who doesn't look anything like it. I mean, they could have gone for, is it Carla Gascon from The Thing, the trans musical? She could have played an Abby, I think.
Just animate her like She-Hulk.
Yeah.
What was the woman from Ant-Man, the bodybuilder?
Oh, I know who you mean, because she's in The Mandalorian as a side character as well.
Yeah, she was the only
what the fuck is
woman
her
who
name?
looked like her. But like at the end of the day, you could have gone the Natalie Portman route where you CGI her, so her head's normal, but her body's like 5 times the size.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, Neil Druckmann, he'll even know all of these are just admissions that what he wrote was shit. He'll never accept it. You can point out, go, well, you changed these things, and he'll go, nah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it must take some considerable arrogance to say, like, based on the reception that The Last of Us 2 got, we are still not going to change the story in the TV show. there's nothing that actually locks them into faithfully following that part of the story. They could change it based on how unpopular it was. So he must genuinely still think it was absolutely the best and wisest decision he made. And that's just deluded, but he's in charge, I guess.
But we said though he changed season 1 to accommodate season 2 because deep down he knows it's shit. Like all the criticisms, like Joel being trusting, he wouldn't trust a bunch of strangers. And then in season 1, he's having dinner. He's traveled across country to meet Bill to have dinner with. It's got loads of little bits like that. Like Joel wouldn't be ambushed. He's too clever. Yeah, he got ambushed by a deaf kid. So you know what I mean? Like you can tell they've changed bits here. The little criticisms we all had are all addressed in season 1. Like Abby being big. Like there was gigantic fat Native Americans in season 1. Where the fuck they get that food from?
Sounds like a good show to me.
Season 1 is pretty good, I feel like.
Or is it? I haven't seen any of this stuff.
Yeah.
Haven't seen any of this
Do you think
stuff.
we'll get
I see my
lots of
brother playing the
flashbacks?
game.
They
they
flashbacks
probably-
and side quests and they all
Yeah, they
kinds
probably
of
go the Walking Dead route. Remember how they extended that show forever and ever by just having everyone's backstory take up an entire episode, and you don't see the main character for like 2 months in real time.
They're still doing
Who's
it.
gonna die?
They're still doing it. They're still doing it in shows. I've been watching a Severance and Reacher, and they do that in those shows. It seems like a thing now where you have a whole episode devoted to someone you've never seen in the whole series, a backstory. So they do it. They do it.
It can work. I mean, you just have to really, really pay attention to how tight the rest of your script is. Like all of that shit has to be strictly relevant to what your A plot is. Otherwise, it just comes across as filler in the way that. And something like The Walking Dead is different because it is so like heavily serialized with so many episodes in a single season, and then so many spin-offs to every single season, and then it just drags on. They're still making those. Who watches them? Why is there 15 Walking Dead spin-offs coming out?
I don't know anyone who watches that show. Not a single person.
I know that the biker guy's in France now. I don't know how the fuck he
did that
got
even
there.
happen? Yeah. Like he got sent there, I think, to try and find someone. Someone got kidnapped, I think, and then he had to go to France to get them back. And then Rick's in some weird, like, dystopian city thing, I think, but I stopped watching because it was really
came
silly.
back?
He came back, yeah. Because you remember, like, he had to go because his planet needed him, which is to say that he wasn't paid enough to stick with this shit show anymore.
Exactly.
Well, they brought him back and they've gone to the place where he was taken to in the helicopter. And so that I think he tries to leave it, but I quit after the first episode because I don't remember what's happening. I checked out kind of when Glenn died, and then I went back again. I thought, I wonder if this gets better. And then there's a weird guy with a giant CGI tiger, and I thought, you know what? No, fuck it. Not going to try and figure this one out.
It was good up to that point when Glenn died. I was so shocked about that, and I thought I can't be watching this anymore. I really like that character.
Very gruesome. That
was gruesome, and it was more like, oh, I get. So we're just going to keep doing this, aren't we? Like it's never going to stop. It's just going to get bleaker and bleaker, and it's man's inhumanity to man, and all the people you like will die, and there's no humor in it anymore, whereas there kind of was earlier on. And it's at that point, it just becomes a bit too dreary.
Yeah.
In other news, I guess everyone's speaking out on their roles. Robert Pattinson said he is lucky to have been cast as Batman. I never auditioned and I had never played a superhero before. 2 to 3 years before I got the part, I started thinking about it when I really had no chance of playing Batman. It was like an alignment of planets. He also said that he's going to be old Batman by the time the Batman Part 2 finally comes out in 2057. So
how old is he now then?
He's older. So now, but when Batman Part 2 comes out and it's still supposed to be the younger Batman, he will be older than Christian Bale was in the final Dark Knight movie.
Oh, God.
He's 38.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Why is everyone giving their goodbyes? It's like everyone's dying. They're all giving eulogies. Iron Man's going, oh, it's great to play Iron Man. And then Robbie Downey Jr. kind of just passes on. And he's going, oh, it's great to be Batman. And he passes on.
Well, in this case, it might be because it's not actually ever certain that film will come out. Because James Gunn evidently doesn't want it to. It seems pretty clear he does not want anybody else to have Batman. He wants Batman for himself. And he doesn't. I think he said that he didn't like the Penguin, for example, and he didn't like. He's not a huge fan of the Matt Reeves Batman, and
He
obviously
said
it causes
that?
him problem. I think. Well, I heard someone say that he had said that, which is not quite the same as me saying he did say that, but close enough, right? I heard it on the internet, therefore it's probably true.
Fair enough.
Better than what he makes.
Well, that's the question. Yeah, because why would you not use this as your launch pad? Is the question. You've already got these movies in the works. It's one reasonably popular Batman movie. It's
Yeah,
one
it's a
very popular
well-received.
spin-off show. It's doing well. There's a story in progress, so build your universe off of that. Why are you starting with Creature
Because-
Commandos and then Aqua Teen Hunger Force or whatever the fuck the next
Because
one is?
it's not. It's a big ego thing. It's not from him.
Yeah,
That's the
It's
reason
so
why.
crazy. I've said that if you're going to do a shared universe, it has to have the foundation of a great film to kick it off. That's why the MCU worked, because it had the first Iron Man movie. If you're going, this is like it handed to him on a silver platter of like, I don't know, just build your universe around this. Here you go, because it's well received. It's like starting on third base, but instead he wants to be at home plate hitting the home run.
Look,
And it's probably not going to happen.
I think he's going to stop at Superman because I've heard a lot of rumors. I've got a friend in LA that went to see one of the screenings, and he wasn't nice about it. Put it that way. I reckon it's just going to be mediocre, the Superman film, and then they're going to wonder whether they should carry on with it. That's what I reckon. So,
Well-
but he's definitely gunning to stop this version of Batman. I know, gunning. Sorry about the pun, but yeah.
Well, the
I
thing is, though,
agree.
if Superman is a failure, who is the one character arguably more popular?
Oh, Batman
Batman.
is
Batman.
easily the most
So he can
popular
always-
DC character.
Yeah, so like if Superman fails, he can always go, well, the next Batman film will be good, so it might be like a little save point for him.
Isn't it being directed by the guy who did The Flash?
I don't know.
It is.
Wow.
Yeah, Andy
Machete.
Machete. Yeah, it is.
Michael
Yeah,
Machete.
good luck.
But
Machete, take a fucking machete to a franchise, no problem.
But that's the thing, you see. He wants. Look, I don't know. I don't think he's a stupid man. I reckon he went in there with the best intentions, and then you had all the execs saying, "We want this, we want that." That's what I reckon happened to Gunn.
I don't know. I think he's
I
just a
think-
compulsive liar.
Yeah, I think he thought he had the winning formula. I've got the
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy formula. I can do it with Suicide Squad. I can do it with Superman. But it clearly is not working out the way he thought. Now he's panicking.
But seriously, guys, would you put a dog in Superman?
Well,
I-
easy.
that's
No,
like his
because-
thing. That's how James Gunn gets people's affection, is with animals. Did you see
It's
Guardians
so
3?
cheap. It's like, but that is the best bit of Guardians 3, to be fair. But it is
Yeah.
cheating. You're not allowed to do
It's
that.
Yeah.
It works though.
It does.
Does it?
Unless you're Korean, then they probably look at crypto like food.
He didn't. The only thing he did that was super in that trailer was save that little girl, and that was it. Everything else was like blooded and dragged around by a dog, looking stupid as Clark Kent. Do you know what I mean? I just all those red
What is your
flags keep coming
expectation?
up.
Do you think it'll be good, medium, shit, raw, whatever?
I think it'll be just passable.
Yeah, I think
That's
it'll
what I
be
reckon.
medium, right in the dead center.
Yeah,
Not
I don't
great,
think it'll
not
be great.
awful.
But do you think the audience will then elevate a mediocre movie?
My
No,
sister-
They'll say it's
my-
the best thing ever.
My sister's a normie, and she definitely she says, "Ian, you got to take me to see this film. It looks great." So
Huh.
the normies will go and see it definitely, but I don't know whether there'll be enough normies to save this film.
Man of Steel, I think was a giant turd, but it was divisive at minimum. Some people
Right.
liked it, and that wasn't good enough to start a cinematic universe.
No, it
so
wasn't. It was terrible.
They tried though. They tried to give us that shit. They tried to feed us fucking Zack Snyder's talentless fucking mess.
God,
You know what he said, that film? He basically went, how many people died in Metropolis during the Zod
Yeah.
fight? And he went,
Yeah.
5,000. And you go, what? No, A, I don't believe you. There's more than 5,000 people in that city. And two, the way Superman's just, I killed 5,000 people. Who cares?
But how can
collateral
what,
damage?
what I don't understand is how can he not see this? Like when me and my brother went to see that film, okay, we came out the cinema. We said the same thing. We said Superman would, if he was going to fight him, he would have flew away from the city so he can protect everyone in city.
No,
he would not stay there and fight that guy.
But then you couldn't have the cool backdrop of all the
But that's what I'm
buildings and
saying.
shit.
So how comes he couldn't see that? How comes the script writers couldn't see that?
Because he has the mind of a child.
He does.
Oh, look,
He's just
explosions.
Before that movie came out, he said that he's like, well, if someone gave me access to Batman, Batman could be raped in my movie.
What?
That's a real fucking Zack Snyder quote.
Yeah. He went, Batman isn't dark. My dark Batman would get raped.
my dark Batman would be fucking.
That's terrible.
It worked for Joker though. Joker got raped and he stopped being Joker.
Yeah.
Maybe he was
right.
That
movie was really well received. That movie went over great.
I just don't understand how the Batman script writers can't see it. How could they not see
Batman would just have a giant bat dildo on his pants.
So bad.
Well, there was one final topic on the docket. We could shit on Zack Snyder for a couple hours if you wanted. I'd love that, but
Bond, oh god.
So this was amazing. Amazon paid nearly $1 billion for creative control of James Bond. When Jeff Bezos read that Barbara Broccoli called the Amazon execs fucking idiots, he reportedly said, "I don't care what it costs, get rid of her."
She should have asked for more than $1 billion then, shouldn't she?
Yeah.
Went, 5 billion, please.
It's Jeff Bezos. You can ask for whatever you want, really.
But then you see those pitched ideas and you think, well, no, she was completely correct. Like, what are these? A Money Penny spin-off? Why?
Yeah.
A Q, where we learn Q is for queer.
Yeah, well, it is now.
He's gay now, isn't he? He's gay, so that's all he's gonna do.
Look at this, right? Moneypenny is black now, so that makes sense why they want to do it. The Felix Leiter is a black character. That makes sense why they want to do it. A female James Bond. That makes sense. That's why they want to do it. Do you know what I mean? It's just, again, it's the agenda, right? Why would anyone watch this?
But as Cynic said before, you oversaturate the franchise, which Barbara Broccoli did do a lot of bad shit with, like, Daniel Craig's Bond. Not Bond. But at the end of the day, she had one thing correct, which was you don't turn Bond into content because it loses its value.
Yes.
Every 3 years, just enough.
Bond started crying.
They're not going to do that.
And you definitely don't start pitching ideas for spin-off shows and like countless content things if you don't already have a successful film franchise, which at the moment Bond doesn't. There are no Bond films. The last one was unpopular. It's sort of the Star Wars dynamic. A lot of the things that Star Wars releases as Disney Plus shows are never ever going to bring in the numbers because there are no films out which get the audience interested in the story. The audience, the mass audience, goes to the cinema, and then a subset of those watch streaming shows. If you want more people to watch your streaming shows, put a movie out. It doesn't work in the other direction. So you can't revive Bond by doing a bunch of streaming spin-offs with no Bond movie because everyone will be saying, oh, I remember James Bond. I kind of liked it when he was not Daniel Craig. That was, I don't care about this show though, because, why? What's the story? What's the thing to invest in? Who even is Bond at the moment?
You know what, though? I heard, right? Because
they'll just have his corpse and they'll dig it up. Deadpool. Remember Deadpool was just running around. They'll do that. She's just Moneypenny's beating people to death with a skeleton.
But I heard that one of the retorts that the Amazon side said was that cinema is dying. There's really no point. If we make a James Bond film, it's going to be in the cinema for 4 weeks and then it's going to end up in streaming. So why not make content of James Bond? And that's when Barbara Broccoli went, "Fuck you!" So that's what I heard.
True.
Yeah.
It's true if you make a bad Bond movie, but this is the same with almost all movies these days. If your movie isn't doing well at the cinema, it tends to end up on streaming really quickly. If your movie is doing really well at the cinema, like Barbie and Oppenheimer, it's in the cinema for 6 months and it's not on streaming for 9.
Yeah.
Just make a good film.
They're not capable of doing it though, because they're going to put the agenda in there. Look, if Bond turns out to be black, there's no way I'm watching it. No way.
I think that was the plan originally, but then they went, woke's been put away a little bit. So what we'll do is we'll go back from overt woke to kind of subtle woke. We'll put a white guy in, but then we'll surround him with diverse characters.
Yeah, and then
I think they'll go back to that.
and then cuck him. Yeah, that's what they're going to do. They did it in the
Yeah.
last one, didn't they? James Bond crying and all that rubbish. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Instead of telling you to fuck off from the beginning, they'll bait you in and then tell you to fuck off later on.
Yes. Yeah. Ah. Goodbye, Bond.
Yeah. See you to that franchise as well, basically.
It's dead.
That does wrap it up for the topics. You mind if I get to some super chats real quick?
Go for it.
Do it.
All right. TGV Monster says, "Hi, Platoon, Cynic, Reaper, and Gooch, and the producer." And that would be you, Mega Geek. You're the producers today.
Am I the producer? Okay.
Yeah. Our friend Toivo Korhonen, rank these quotes from least cringe to ultra cringe. A, sever the nerve from Black Widow. B, somehow Palpatine returned. Poe Dameron. And C, the C is always right. Elendil.
Oh, this one's just too easy. I mean, you can't beat somehow Palpatine returned. Everything about it, the delivery, the context, everything is the worst line possibly in cinematic history. Then it's the C is always right.
But that one's funny.
It's very funny. But then Sever the Nerve isn't like especially cringe. It's what happens after that, which is very funny about Sever the Nerve. The fact that she beats like Russian Ray Winston by smashing her own face on a table. That's funny.
Why didn't her nose break?
It was supposed to. That was the nerve she was severing, but they couldn't damage Scarlett Johansson's pretty face.
Yeah, because it's
in the contract.
Too beautiful, so you can't be doing that.
So she broke behind the face.
That's right.
I still sometimes get little flashbacks of that scene just randomly on the day. It makes me laugh.
Terrible movie.
Member for 24 months, Typhung. I'll reactivate Disney Plus for Andor, so I guess I'll give the new Daredevil a shot once my sub is back. I'm an inept sailor with a security clearance, so alas, Disney will get paid for a few months. Just wait until it's over and then binge it in one day.
Okay.
Yeah, just binge it. Tay for $20 American. Howdy, y'all. The Cinemark theaters near my house are rerunning the Hunger Games series. Was wondering if any of you guys like those movies because I absolutely love them. Not the latest one, and the dystopian genre in general. I like the genre. I haven't seen all the Hunger Games movies. I remember only seeing the first two.
I only saw the first two as well.
Yeah.
I only saw the first two as well. It's basically just Battle Royale, but worse.
Yeah,
that's how I looked at it too. Because I saw Battle Royale first when I was like fresh out of high school, and I thought that was great, badass. Yeah,
that was great. It's good fun.
I think I was prejudiced against them because my mom and my sister both really liked them, and so they were always on. And so it's like I'm not gonna like that shit. So I don't remember a huge amount about it, except that it spawned what I'm kind of reluctant to call the dystopia genre, really. That particular era of 2010's young adult pseudo dystopia, when you had just like Hunger Games and then about 15 clones of the Hunger Games. Divergent.
Maze Runner.
The first Maze Runner had an interesting idea, but then after that, it just becomes insanely ridiculous. But dystopia done properly is really interesting. Great stuff in there. 1984, Brave New World. That is proper dystopia, not fucking Hunger Games.
Studios,
member for 2 years, JGGR89. Hooray! Oh no, Mr. Murdoch, run away! It's the MCU. Yeah,
couldn't say it better myself.
Sick Shop says it was terrible. I assume
that could apply to literally anything we've been discussing today.
All of it.
Came in at 539, so this was during Daredevil.
Daredevil, probably. Daredevil, yeah.
Sorry, we didn't have a producer today to pull up super chats in a timely fashion, so I just did it the old-fashioned way. Wait until the end. Sorry, guys. Get my cha for a California $5. Here's some support and a recent film recommendation to the audience and panel. Jerry Springer fights camera action. It's wild and very dark.
Is that on Netflix?
Yeah, there's a document, Jerry Springer doc. I think, is this the doc? Because this is what I had on recently too. Yeah,
I haven't seen it. I want to watch it. Yeah. Oh, hello.
Is that the show where rednecks were just beating each other up?
Oh, hell yeah. It's badass.
I like that.
It was fucking great.
Yeah, we had Jeremy Kyle over here, but he wasn't quite as interesting.
No.
And then I think he got
Less
kicked off
violent.
TV because someone killed themselves after one of his shows or something. So there was a big controversy,
Yes.
and then he just disappeared for a while.
That
We just
always
don't do that
happens.
kind of shit as
To
well as
catch a
Americans
predator.
do.
He's back though.
That
Isn't
always
he?
some show gets ruined because some guy kills himself. Like To Catch a Predator, some guy went home and killed himself, and we got no more To Catch a Predator. These selfish people who kill themselves. You ruin good TV.
Rick from Arizona, probably not Rick from Az. Daredevil season 2 gives Kingpin an autistic rich sidekick.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're going to Mars. That's all he says.
Type Saro, I believe, or Sharo. Bucky texted a metal pick to women. Imagine what this hand could do on the highest setting. About chicka wow wow. Taker 610 says Avatar Escape from LA's Fire and Ash.
Maybe.
Yeah, they can film on location. It will save them some CGI money.
Is that still happening?
Probably. I don't even. Maybe. How long do fires last when
Is it
communists
just-
are in charge?
Is it just sinking into hell where it belongs?
Mr. Cha for another California 5. Films are too long. Put intermissions in or edit them down. Cinema should be a single sitting experience. Classics like Ben-Hur have intermissions.
What do you
Yeah.
think they give you the popcorn bucket for? It's not for popcorn.
Yeah, but
It's
you gotta
to
have
water
time
your-
for you gotta have a piss, right? So
That's what
you
I'm
know.
saying.
That's what he's
That's
saying.
what the bucket's for.
You might still have
Everyone knew-
popcorn in it.
Everybody knew you were supposed to stick your dick in the June popcorn bucket. They just
You'd
assumed
never
that
get
it was
it
for
out.
things that weren't urinating during the middle of part 2.
You'll never get it out if you stick it in that bucket.
Thrill House says they call me beef the way I'm stroganoff.
Ah,
I see what you did.
I
Well
see it.
done.
Good one. Oh fuck. And lastly, Ian for $5 says, I can already see the Money Penny tagline. She's the woman the issues the license to kill.
she shot James Bond, so
Oh, she did.
she did. She shot
Wait,
him.
did she?
Yeah.
I thought that was the other one.
Yeah.
No, she shot him.
Skyfall.
Skyfall.
The
She
Black
shot him.
Money Penny shoots
Oh.
her.
That's
and he
why she
falls
goes.
off the train.
Yeah, that's why she goes behind the desk, isn't it? Because she couldn't apparently
She can't aim. Yeah.
couldn't aim. Yeah.
Well, that wraps up the super chats. And I do want to thank the panel. Thanks, Gooch, who left early, but thanks to him. And Mega Geek, you want to pitch your stuff and plug your shit and tell us what you're up to?
Well, everybody knows it's Rebecca Gold. I'm not doing well on the Indiegogo campaign. I haven't even broke 1,000 on that one, but you know, every penny counts, I guess. And I'm grateful for the people that's actually given me money. So, but I'm hoping that it's going to be finished before September, and then I'll release it to the world, and then everybody can tear it apart. So there you go. The Rebecca Gold channel's on YouTube if you want to watch stuff. So there you go.
Yeah, Mega Geek was a late addition to this episode, so we'll make sure to update the description with his Indiegogo and link to Rebecca Gold as well. So if everyone wants to check that out. And Reaper, what are you doing, man? What are you up to?
I'm just reading. A scorpion's anus isn't where you think it is. It's right next to the end of the tail.
What?
But anyway, so what I'm... it's right... You know, the stinger? Just below the stinger is a scorpion's anus.
Wow.
It's pretty interesting. It's very interesting. Anyway, back to what I'm doing. My Doctor Who video got taken down because
I
again,
saw that.
I said one or two pretty mean things, I'll say.
What about Silly
don't know.
Gatwick?
Oh, that's where it started. I kind of went
right,
a bit of a rampage. So I'm just kind of, I don't know. I'm just kind of see what I'm doing. Well, maybe I'll release a video. Who knows?
Yeah, that would be good.
I'm enjoying Scorpion Facts right now. So people go, why does it take so long? Because I get fucking meandered on shit like that. I learned kangaroos can drown you.
What?
They can what
They
you?
lure you out.
They can
into
drown you?
Kangaroos will purposely lure you out into the water to drown you.
Wow.
Jesus, sick
What
bastard.
happens if you don't go? Who's dumb enough to get lured by a kangaroo?
Dogs. Usually
Dogs?
dogs. They
Oh.
usually grab them. And then a guy will come in to save his dog and he goes, ha, my 3-stage plan worked. I got you now.
Box the hell
Have a
out.
go.
They're going to take over. I'm going to keep trying to do my... Anyway, I'm going to try and do my Castlevania Nocturne review. It's about an hour long. So, yeah. And that'll get taken down because, again, I get a bit racist. I get a bit sexist. I get a bit homophobic. I can't help myself. So we'll see.
Christ. And Platoon, you haven't had a video released in a while. What are you doing?
Not since is it November? I don't remember the last one I
Something
did
like
on the
that.
main channel. It's a while. Yeah, it's still Captain America because all kinds of shit's gone wrong with this one, but it'll be done this week. It has to be done this week, and then it'll be Snow White straight after. So
Yeah.
plenty of stuff coming up, and I've got another Gollum stream that I need to do, which will also probably be this week.
I thought everybody hates that game, don't they?
Yes, it's famously one of the worst things that's ever been made ever. So naturally, we're all being forced to play it.
Oh dear.
I think I'm releasing a video at the end of the week, but I'm not sure yet. And I think it's going to be about body positivity and how that's a fucking sham. And I have to connect it to media somehow.
I was going to say, how is that
Right.
movies?
I know, because I'll probably use celebrities as why, but I'm trying to figure that out. I was like, I want to talk about this, but I'm pretty sure the channel's called the Movies
Lizzo,
Connect.
she was in The Mandalorian. You can stick
That's
with her.
right.
Because she was preaching body positivity for ages, and now she's lost loads of weight.
Right.
So,
yeah.
like,
She's
was she
the primary
lying then,
one.
or is she lying now?
What about that
text-
girl in
And they
Wicked?
want her dead.
I texted
about-
back Jason, told him to hang on to all the Lizzo clips from the last video because she'll probably be a huge topic in this.
What's that girl in
Ariana
Wicked?
Grande.
Yeah,
and-
what about
and that
her?
fucking Goblin.
No, she's
Yeah.
Gollum.
That
that's
Goblin
what she
she's
is.
with as well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like that Ozempic, man,
Nosferatu,
that is fucking
yeah.
killing everyone. No,
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. It's not good. She looks. She
it
looks
looks like they
awful,
have the
man.
one ring. The Ozempic is killing everyone.
God, could you imagine being like 100 pounds, being like, I need Ozempic? Fuck.
Oh god.
Poor woman.
Oh, that's a brilliant rib
down to
cage you
herself.
got there. He goes, thanks.
She's probably breathing like Nosferatu too. Yeah.
She's on a ventilator and she goes, lucky. She can't even walk around anymore. How jealous are we?
Well, that does it for this week, everyone. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for the chat, and thanks for all the super chats that were sent in. We appreciate the hell out of you guys, and thanks for everyone who sticks around while we read through those. Much appreciated. We'll have the producer back next week, I would imagine. I think.
I mean, we
It's
pay him, so I mean, I'd hope so. Yeah.
I hope so too. So
Backface, where are you?
he's getting his
Man,
new
he-
something or passport. That's what it
Oh,
was.
he's getting
Passport.
above. He's trying to leave the country, is he?
He's lucky you're not Chinese, where you have those nets that flip employees back into the building when they try and kill themselves.
We need to get some of those. I keep saying it. We will eventually.
I like the way you're planning to treat him so poorly, he tries to kill himself.
Yeah. Surprised it's taken this long.
You just don't have the nets to catch him yet.
Yeah, he's getting circumcised. That's what he's doing.
Hmm.
No. Anyway, thanks to the panel for coming on. Appreciate you guys. And yeah, we will see you next week. Platoon, I'll let you hit the button.
Oh, where's the button gone? There it is. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.